You're on mute.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't hear me sing.
What's up? What's up? Nate, you stuck in, you on mute. Oh, wait. Yup. He wish, he wish, he.
Yeah, I just did. I don't even care. Like,
All right, what's up, world? What's up? Thank you for tuning in to Talk with Teezy presents Venus versus Mars. I'm your host, of course. I'm Teezy. I'm in the building on this Thursday night. We got Hoodie Gang Nate in the building. What's up, Hoodie Gang Nate? I like that little background setup. You repping for Hoodie Gang
you know,
Apiro. Nice.
you know, I was working and I was like, oh, hold up. Let me get ready. So,
I appreciate it. I appreciate you. What DJ Khaled said, I appreciate you. So, you guys, I hope you had a good day today. I know some people still, maybe driving, coming home from work or whatever. Some people just getting home. But we got a hot topic that we're going to talk about tonight. Hot topic. What's up, Isa?
Guys,
Hi, how you doing?
can't complain.
Okay, that's good. Y'all sound more happy than last week. Cause last week you and Nate was on some like, man, it's just one of those weeks. So I'm happy that y'all feeling a little bit better. Y'all week going a little bit better. Positive vibes. That's what we looking for. That's what we obtain. What we're trying to obtain, that positivity. So definitely a good look. What's up, Tim? We got Tim in the building. Tim coming on the show next week, y'all. He been spitting some gems on his page, and he been getting a little uproar. People been. So we gonna bring Tim on next week, y'all. He gonna come on. We gonna talk about a topic, but we gonna talk about that later. So tonight, you guys, it's a hot topic. Like R. Kelly, Robert, like convicted, all charges.
I mean, we knew it was coming. Like, we've been saying it for years. So, I mean, it ain't nothing to us. It ain't nothing surprising. Like, if you,
Right. I'm not surprised.
Bill Bellamy said it back in what, 92? He had a whole comedy show where he was like, that he going to jail. So it was coming sooner or later, like,
It was just a matter of time.
matter of time.
True. So I didn't watch like the whole trial, like every time, one of the people came forward, the victims and stuff like that. I did watch some of it. I watched some updates, today and stuff like that. But I feel like for the most part, like, I don't know. I know they didn't sentence him yet though. Like they just found him guilty, right? They didn't do the sentencing part yet.
Yeah.
Right.
How many years you think he about to get? Which I think.
I don't know. I think they go try to do him dirty like they tried to do Bill Cosby dirty. So I mean, like he
Ain't
might
Bill
be in this.
Cosby
Yeah.
walk? Bill
Bill
Cosby
Cosby
free.
out though.
He out. I
He
don't
out.
think
He chilling.
I
But
don't
he
see R.
they
Kelly getting out.
look. I stopped watching. I stopped paying attention to the trial when a girl. I think it was like one of his managers or somebody that worked for him said she walked in the room when he was having sex with Aaliyah. That's when I stopped watching it. Right there, I was like, yeah, you going down, bro. Like she was crying and telling her story. I'm like, so I
It's like so many different factors to this because I know that we all watched that R. Kelly thing, that docu series that was on like Lifetime with all the different people. A girl
surviving
came out
R.
with like a
Kelly.
book, right? Surviving R. Kelly, and we got to learn a little bit more about like R. Kelly upbringing, the sexual things he been through, and then how he brought that into his career, into his life, which obviously messed him up. And then I think about all the people that actually was there and witnessed these things and didn't say anything, or even some of the parents that may have been doing it for money that low key isn't telling the truth. Now I'm for these girls and what happened to them. Like I'm definitely I'm on their side because when some shit like that happens to you, that's some real life shit that you gonna have to deal with for life. So I
For life.
definitely understand like being a victim, going through that type of stuff. That's a lot of trauma, to get yourself back to where you need to be and become who you're supposed to be. That's gonna be hard, especially like that girl that he turned into a boy. Remember, he made her cut her hair. He had her start dressing like a boy. Like
Mm-hmm.
after all of that, now she got to find her identity. You feel me? And that's gonna be hard. So I'm not against nothing like that. What that he's going to jail for this because he needs to, but I just feel like it's a lot of other factors as well that we got to talk about because these people that were adults and these people that watched and seen what R. Kelly was doing, to me, you just as responsible.
And said nothing
Right.
about it.
Nothing.
At all.
They just as responsible.
But that's what I'm saying. Do you lock up like the manager? Do you lock up the ex-wife that knew he was cheating with underage girls and was mad about it but wasn't really reporting it? Do you lock up the girl's parents that was just bringing them to R. Kelly like, here, take my daughter and make her a star? Or do you lock up the limo driver that was driving the young girls around with him in the car? Do you lock up the friends that was going to the high schools and the middle schools with him? Do you lock up
Right.
the the hotel people that was watching him bring the young girls
I know, and
into
then
the
lying for
and then
him.
lying for him? Do
They
you
all
lock
need to
up?
be they all need to get charged, okay?
Something.
Like
Do you
they
For
lock
all
up
real.
the
knew.
producers? Do you lock up the producers that was in the studio with him when he had the little girls in there with him? Like how is a whole plethora of people that witnessed this? Who do you lock up? Like who do you lock up?
Everybody. That's like,
Do you lock up? Do you lock
For
up?
real.
Do you lock up
what's up, Tiffany?
the people
Hi.
that dropped the food off at the house
Hey,
that seen the
Tab.
young girls at the house but never said nothing because they was just delivering the food? Like it's too many people to lock up.
Yeah, but that's different. I just feel like if you knew, like there's people that knew what this man was doing and nobody said nothing. Like they knew they were
Nothing.
helping him. They even how the girls talked about even how the girls talked about not being able to talk to each other, like they had to keep them separate. They knew them people that was keeping them girls separate, they knew what was going on, yo. Like I feel like the
Right.
people that really knew, y'all deserve some hell too, yo. Like y'all
For
knew,
real.
y'all, what if that was y'all kids?
Ain't no way.
See,
No
first of
way.
all, I'm not delivering my
No
child
way.
to nobody.
Man, we about to
For
get in
So
real.
that studio together, like, so what music you about to do?
I'm writing lyrics like, you going where? I'm coming too. But
And then
like, you
hold up,
can't.
then I hear then you start hearing a song, you be like, wait, you about to sing this with my
Right.
child now.
Nah,
Nah,
I'm
we gotta
good.
change them lyrics up.
I'm good. But like I said, parents was delivering their kids.
He said all of them.
Like, how do you deliver your daughter, especially your daughter? How do you deliver your daughter and be like, oh, you go work with R. Kelly? You got to stay over there for a month. oh, you just stay there. I'll come back. I'll come call you. I'll come visit you. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna
I'm not.
lie.
I'm trusting the people, but I'm not that trusting. You gonna have
And
my child
especially
for a
when you
month?
like in the streets,
That's
you heard about
crazy.
what was going on.
It's speechless.
Very much so. But then it's like it's crazy because a part of me feel bad about what Robert went through growing up. Like he been through his sister raping, but he ended up liking it. Like he wasn't one of them where it rejected him and made him, he ended up taking what she did to him and adding that to his life. And it turned him into a monster. And I feel like though, at this point though, R. Kelly, you was rich, you was successful, you could have got all the help in the world. You chose not to.
Right, and
So
you a
then that's what
grown
makes me
man
not
now.
feel bad for
You
him.
know the deal.
He
So
chose not to get help. He
he ain't
chose
want
not to
help.
be a better person. So I can't like feel too bad for him because you was in a predicament in situations to where you could have got yourself together. You could have got the help that you needed, but you chose not to. You chose to use your power, your money, your fame to reel in these girls and do what you do with them because you had some money.
The scary
He,
part is for a person to sit there around people and act like nothing is really going on in your life. Like that's the scary part. Like you sit there and say, no, that's not true or whatever, and you actually did all these things in your life.
Right.
That's the
even the
scariest
whole
person in the world to be around.
Yep. And even the whole herpes thing. How many of them got it and got to deal with that for life because he didn't, expose, he didn't tell them that that's something that he was dealing with.
And what's crazy is like when you think of R. Kelly, you start trapped in the closet. You start singing songs in your head and stuff. I'm like, yo,
Getting mad at
that's
yourself.
crazy. His songs is thorough as hell, but it's just crazy that it's behind. Like you made it off all
Yeah,
this
like when
crazy
the
stuff.
lyrics, it makes me like, I was always growing up, and I never liked R. Kelly like on no like sexual. I never looked at him like he was cute, but his music, I
Yes,
was so in love with. Like you couldn't tell me a
yes.
R. Kelly song don't come on. I'm up in there like, give me that
It's a
honey,
remix.
like I'm singing,
But
and
it's
I'm
a
singing all
remix
these
to
songs,
English way. The
and you talking
kitchen
about
hot
messing
and
with
fresh
these
out
little
the
ass
kitchen.
girls. And you know what the battle be? People be like, well, that's R. Kelly, but that's Robert that did that. That's not R. Kelly. Motherfucker, that's a stage name. He the same
Right.
person.
It's the remix to Ignition, hot
It's
and
so
fresh
Hot and
out
fresh
the
out
crazy.
the
Like, yo,
kitchen.
kitchen,
Step in the
honey.
Name of Love. I was gonna get
Step in
married
the
to one
name
of
of
his songs,
love.
yo. I can't
But
even
that's the thing, though. Do you separate? Do you separate? Are you gonna separate the man from the art? Because at the end of the day, that's art. I mean,
It's hard.
some of it is real hard. Because some of it, like "Step in the Name of Love," like I can't find no malice in that
Yo, that's
song.
my
That's a
Right,
great
right.
song.
yo, I ain't
Like
gonna
I can't be
He
like,
just basically thought he was real clever, real slick, and thought he was going to get away for life. He just was doing something that he thought that he was just going to get away. He could walk in the face of the people and just be doing his dirt. And like you said, all those people who is with them, I think eventually they're going to go after those people. We're not seeing it now because they got to handle him, but eventually those people going to go down too. Everybody going to get their karma.
I feel
Oh
it's
like
gonna
yeah.
be a
people doing
lot of
that.
people.
But even if it's not a lot, we know that some, definitely the closest people, they have no choice but to go down. You're a part of that's association.
Right. That's just like if you the getaway driver from a robbery or a murder, they gonna try to hang you too.
Right.
Yep.
Jamal, I sent it. We got somebody that want to come on. I sent you the link. Check your inbox.
So do you,
I'm
like I said, so do you do that? Do you separate the music from the man, or do you just be like, let's
I'm
cancel R. Kelly? Can you really
I'm for the
cancel R. Kelly?
music. I'm sorry. Like the
all right. So
music,
then
when
I
I
got
think
energy
about it,
right now. Then you
it's
got to go.
already done. The music is already done. It's out there, it's gone. But we know who the real Robert is. We know who he is. That shit is done. It's smashed. It's over. We mad that he probably getting paid still, but that music got people through. Word to anything.
No,
Like
Yo, I
R. Kelly
cannot
said he
listen to
broke.
none of his
R. Kelly
sexual
broke. He ain't got no
songs
money.
because all I'm gonna think about is
It's
what them
kids.
fucking songs mean. So maybe like step. So I'm not gonna lie. When that whole situation with R. Kelly happened, I swear I was not listening to his music. I don't give a fuck. That shit can't. I was so heartbroken because I really was a hardcore R. Kelly. Like I know all his
right.
music. He done wrote for all these different artists. You feel me? I love his music. So that shit broke my heart. So like, I know when we was younger, we heard about the videotape and all of that, but as adults to see this shit unfold, I was like, damn. So I didn't listen to none of his music. I'm telling you, when that shit first started coming out. But the other night, matter of fact, was it yet? No, it wasn't yesterday. It might have been on. I'm on YouTube and "Step in the Name of Love" came on. I swear to God, y'all
You're
couldn't
just
even
like,
help myself. I'm in my fucking living room doing the dance. I was mad at myself after like, you're not supposed to be fucking with R. Kelly. Like, why
I
you
mean,
just? But
at the
like
end
I
of the
said,
day,
like
we grew
motherfucking
up on it.
sexual songs, I don't know if I could
facts.
tap into those anymore.
We grew up on it though. Say
We
you can't.
definitely
It's
did.
hard. It's hard. It's gonna be hard. It's going to be hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's going to be hard. But like this right here, this shit is hard to chew. It's
It
hard.
is
Okay, we
hard
got
to
a
chew.
we got a DJ. Hold up. We got a DJ on the show, right?
Yeah, we got a DJ. What's up,
DJ,
DJ?
are you
What up?
still
What up?
playing R. Kelly records?
I'm gonna say yes and no. Um, I've been listening, right? And Teezy, thank you for adding me.
You're
Um,
welcome.
it's a complicated subject from a DJ's perspective, right? As a man, I think hands down he dead wrong, and everybody around him should go down. Bottom line. But as a DJ, I really do try, because if I apply the same science, I should apply it to everybody, right?
Facts.
Let's go back. Elvis Presley was the biggest rapist, underage sexualist, whatever you want to call
Married a
him, on the planet,
13-year-old.
right? Married a 13-year-old, but
Yep.
these people in the culture, they still big him up and play his music everywhere you go, right? Rick James, he did some foul stuff to women too back in the day, right? But we still play his
Facts.
music. R. Kelly music is a bit different, right? As a DJ, he got some joints, man. He got some joints that'll get a party going, right? And I'm just talking about from a party perspective. It's an understatement. Buck and Reg did a little podcast, little thing the other night. They were saying the same thing, same type of topic, right? And Buck pulled out CD covers. So certain albums that were put out by R. Kelly, like 12 Play, is like the Bible of R&B, right? So to speak, right? I hate to use that comparison, but
12
it's the closest,
play.
right? I just did a wedding 2 weeks ago, and this, trust me, this was a lily white wedding. And when I say, it was like, yo, we need that Step in the Name of Love. We need some of that R. Kelly going, right? That's what they wanted. You got to play that for them, right? But I'm a DJ that do community events. I do kid events all the time as well. And there's no way on the planet that I'm going to play an R. Kelly song at one of these events. And I have some places where they will say, no R. Kelly, no this, no that.
So you've had people tell you that?
Yes, absolutely. Especially now in a school community, they do not want you to play any of his music because of the charges around him. I think it's a catch-22. Again, I go back to my original statement. He's dead ass wrong, and everybody around him is dead wrong. But in the way of the music, I really do try to separate the person from the music. But in certain instances, like you all alluded to already, you get to listening to Ignition or Honey Love, and it's like, damn, was you really thinking about a 13-year-old when you was making this song?
Right. I be like, I feel like I'm a part of what he did when I listen to that, and I'm like, I can't listen to this shit.
But I also, what I wanted to say is that, you know, y'all mentioned who gets charged, who goes to jail, right? So whether we think it's right or wrong, here goes some realities for you. Some people was told to do what they needed, was told what to do because he was under their payroll, right? And if you want your check, you're gonna do what your boss is telling you to do, right? I mean, think about it. R. Kelly the millionaire, your checks aren't my checks. You know, your checks a few $1,000s, right? So they're bound by that. And then also, when you work, somebody's noise. When you work for somebody like a celebrity, they're gonna have you to sign these non-disclosure documents,
MDAs and everything.
That basically says you can't say nothing. So technically, even though they knew it was going on, they probably won't ever get prosecuted because they were underneath this NDA disclosure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's going to protect them legally. But what my problem is to these parents who found a payday in dropping their daughter off to this grown ass man.
Right.
You know, I find a real problem in that. And I feel like if you dropped your child off and experienced a payday, you absolutely should sit your ass in jail with that man.
Yeah, I don't even know how you could look at your kid after you did something like that. Especially if that was their intentions. I don't know what happened to this thing.
Yeah. There we go. My phone rang. But that you should absolutely go down for that. You just basically sold your child for a piece of change. And then in some cases you didn't even get on the stand because you knew you took that money. You know what I mean? This was a great topic, Teezy. I don't want to monopolize the time, but I'm glad you added me because when I tried to text them before, I wasn't able to get my messages across, and it came out crazy.
I was actually about to hit you up like, you want to come on, but you had already sent your thing, so I just was like, let me send the link.
Definitely.
Nah, thank you for coming
and
on.
Issa, what up, Issa? I don't know if you remember me, Issa, from Milner.
I know who you are.
All right, baby.
I don't know. I'm trying to separate the two, but like I said, I don't think like I could ever be in a bedroom listening to R. Kelly sexual songs no more. I might could Step in the Name of Love. I might could I Wish. I might could Space Jam. So like, but the sexual songs, I really have a
You
hard
like,
time
nah.
listening to those. And as much as I love that type of music, especially from him, I really don't know if I could like. I don't know. I'm just gonna feel like he talking about them when they was. I can't. I don't know. It's just a part of me that just feel like wrong. Like I can't even listen to it. It just turns me off. Like when I hear them songs, I be mad, but then it turns me off because I'm like, yo, he talking about these young girls when they was little and all this shit he was doing with them. Like, how can I be in a room making love to somebody listening to this shit? Like I can't. I don't know if I'm thinking too much into it, but I can't. I'm not. Like that shit is different now for me. Like. Especially when you really find out all the things that he did, and especially if you was a victim of like a rape, a sexual assault, anything like that, that type of shit just make you look at things different as well. So I don't know. I said for the first time in a long time, when Step in the Name of Love came on, I'm not gonna lie, I did every fucking move. I'm like, yeah.
But you know what? I got it. All these years as a DJ. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never looked at that song for any more than a dance song. And as a DJ, right? As a DJ, and as I teach to my students, because the programs I work in, but I teach kids that you can take any given song, and even though it might be purposed for one thing, you can use it towards something else, right? Yeah. So I've always looked at "Step in the Name of Love" as a dance song, that nothing more. But I realized that there's something he's dancing because of love, right? So that's the whole concept. But in his case, it's like, all right, whose love are you talking about? The grown woman or the little girl you just got finished messing with? So again, I get all elements of it. But like when it comes to music, I think the separation for me as a DJ, he got like all those albums like the Best of Both Worlds with Jay-Z. Those are more like party. Those are more like party albums, right? As opposed to that R&B zone. I'm with you, Teezy. I don't think that I would like personally listen to any of those slow R&B songs anymore because the automatic thought is the little girls. But at a party, I don't see nothing wrong with playing those party jams because I don't feel like that's what he's talking about at all. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my feeling.
Nah. Well, like I asked her, can you separate the art from the man? Can you really be like, because I mean, other genres of music do it all the time. They be like, well, it's art. He's just art. Mm-hmm. Can we do that with R. Kelly, or is he too embedded in us?
You got to take your
right. I'm with DJ. Like it's like, well, at first it was like this for me, like no, like, but it is now that I'm like, it's tricky, yo. Cause like you said, he got so many different kind of songs. Like you just heard, he got the hip hop, the rap, the gospel. You feel me? He got all these.
But you know what? No. Fuck that. Let's be straight with it, right? Robert Kelly just spent millions of dollars trying to hide what he thought he wasn't going to get caught doing. All right? He thought his celebrity was going to sugarcoat everything. Like the fact that his lawyer said, "Oh yeah, Robert didn't think for a minute that he was going to come back with a guilty verdict." Because he thought his celebrity was going to save him. And if you are that type of person where you're doing foul things to people, I don't care if they're underage, of age, if you're doing foul things to people, you should pay for that. You should be made to pay for that. And
He think he
if
been
that
since he
means
been getting away with so much stuff that people actually have in their mind, I'm gonna get away with this again. They got away with it so many
He
times.
got away with it before, so
He had fans backing him
exactly.
up. He had people just on his side, so he felt like he was that man. Even after that whole, the Surviving R. Kelly came out, he still was acting cocky. He was acting like he was like, I don't care what they talking about, I'm still gonna get off. Nah, it's gonna catch up to you one way or another.
So there will be no post-trial CD put out by Robert Kelly. And if it is, it's going to be talking about how sorry.
I'm about to say, you don't think he's gonna try? I think he's gonna try to.
There's gonna be an R. Kelly mixtape. It's gonna be an R. Kelly mixtape. Watch.
Yo, he gonna come out with something, yo. I better not hear you playing that at none of the events.
But so listen, so let's think about it like this way. So what R. Kelly did, like you said, is wrong, absolutely wrong. But then you add like other entertainers, like what Chris Brown did when we know he is a alleged woman beater now. So we still listening to Chris Brown.
First of all,
so now go ahead.
I'm just asking. Okay. So do we put everybody's business? Okay. Like, we don't look at artists and be like, oh, this new artist MC Gusto just came out, but he got a alleged thing for beating kids and shooting people. We ain't listening to his music. So is that what we're applying to R. Kelly? Are we saying we just go cut R. Kelly off because of what he was doing, but we like the art?
I'm applying it to whoever the fuck it applied to. If you do some shit like that, I'm going to apply it to you because you're still that person. Yeah, the music is a different art, but your songs, a lot of your songs was about what you were doing as Robert Kelly. So if you just made songs that was
way too deep,
like R. Kelly,
hole,
and it was just him, and he made all this different music, then maybe I could be like, yeah, I'm rocking with it. But a lot of them slow jams, those sexual ass songs, had every bit to do with what Robert was doing in his life. So that's the difference. Like with Chris Brown, on some real, I wasn't in that car, but I'm a Pisces, Rihanna a Pisces. I know they was in there banging. You feel me? Like, I don't think that Chris Brown just beat up on Rihanna. Like, I didn't believe that. Like, I didn't believe that Chris Brown just was in the beat. Like, I don't feel like that happened like that. I wasn't there, but from everything that you see about the situation, now, don't get me wrong now, if being a woman of domestic violence, when I first heard about that, like you feel me? But then once everything started coming out, I'm like, I don't think that that's how it 100% went, that she just got her ass. I just think it was more to it. But that's neither here nor there. Now, if I found out that Chris Brown was doing this to multiple females and always playing his hands and he's a woman beater and he is, but he making all this music, I probably would look at him a little bit differently. I don't know if I would respect him the same.
I'm glad you mentioned that situation, bruh. Because for so long, right, I ain't never been in a platform where I could even speak to that like we doing now, right? Not that it matters, because here's one thing that I understand fully. These celebrity lives have no impact on my life. So like all these little reality shows and stuff that we follow and all that, these like fall back a couple notches because it doesn't affect our lives. But now, Chris Brown and Rihanna, without getting all knee deep into it, Rihanna was whooping up on that man. That man finally said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to hit your ass back. And then it went left for him. Okay? It went left for him. There's police reports to back it. All of that. And she never got charged with nothing. But the moment he raised his hand to hit back, it cost him. It didn't cost him his career, but it cost him. I think it was an unfair cost. But at the end of the day, I will go back because I don't want nobody to ever think. I need you all to understand. You're talking to a man who lost his mom at the hands of his father. I personally have an issue with men putting their hands on women. Right. So I will never condone that. Right. But even now, I work in the schools. And you know what's really crazy? In the world we live in, we no longer have chivalry in the way that it used to exist. I try to teach kids, don't put your hands to males. Don't put your hands on the female. But you know what I see when I walk into school in the first 5 minutes? 10 females swinging on the guys. And the
Yeah.
guy didn't even prompt them in most cases. So without getting any deeper, I always felt like Chris took the brunt of that because he was the male. All right. Now, the question though is, do you cut Chris Brown off? They did. Chris Brown was cut down.
Yeah.
He was cut down heavily, but he survived
Oh,
it.
sorry. Yeah.
But he survived it. That's the only difference. Now, R. Kelly, I don't think he's gonna survive this one. You know what I mean? Because also remember this. This is just the first case that he tried. He got other cases in other states.
Oh yeah,
that
this
didn't
is
even
just
go
for
to
New
court
York,
yet.
right?
Yeah,
Right,
he got
this
other
is
cases,
just
other
New York.
states.
So
Oh yeah, he about to get buried. He about to get buried. Like,
My thing is, did y'all hear
Right.
when they compared him to Martin Luther King? Did y'all hear that in the trial?
yeah, I heard that from the lawyer, and I was like,
They compared.
they going deep.
Yo, I'm listening to this shit on YouTube. I'm like, did he just compare Robert Kelly to Martin Luther King? So one of the I guess the lawyers that the three of the girls she was representing, she was talking about it, and she was like, how dare he even mention Martin Luther King, like relating to R. Kelly? Like, she was just like basically saying like he's a monster and stuff like that. But I'm like, well, how you gonna relate him to Martin Luther King? Martin Luther King was doing shit like this. And my only thing, like I said, like a part of me feel bad for what R. Kelly went through growing up. But the fact that R. Kelly had all the resources and money in the world to help himself and fix the issues that he had, and he chose not to, I don't know if I could feel bad for him. Like, he had the choice to, and he chose not to.
Yeah, he had the money to do it, but like, it's his circle though. You gotta think about it. Like my man said, he the breadwinner, so he's influencing the people around him with money. He really didn't have nobody that was like, look, man, you can't be doing this.
Right.
You need to, let me introduce you to some grown-up women. Like, you need help, go see some therapy or something, because he was paying them all off. Like, after a while, they was just taking the money.
Right. He was losing mad money trying to pay off people too.
But the way I see it, like, I don't like what R. Kelly did. I like R. Kelly music, but truthfully, I've never really bought an R. Kelly album. Like, I'm not a big R. Kelly supporter. The only thing I bought Best of Both Worlds because it was Jay-Z and R. Kelly. So, I mean, I separate the art from the man. Like, I really don't listen to his love songs no more because they're old, but you know, the Step in the Name of Love and all that. If it come on, I'm jamming to it. I'm like, I'm in the car like, beep, beep, can I get a toot, toot?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't help it. Like, that's embedded.
Yo, let me tell you, it was to the point that anytime I heard R. Kelly music, I was turning it off. I felt so, like, betrayed. Like, why would you make these songs? Like, yo, I don't know. I was deep in R. Kelly music, yo, like, deep. So it was just like, his songs just touched my, like, what? To find out what the songs, who they're about. I think that's what it more so just did something to me, because I was just like, wow, like, these some great ass songs, yo. Like, you can make babies off these songs. Like, I can't even do that no more.
So recently it came out that Ja Rule and Fat Joe both agreed not to play their R. Kelly songs during the battle.
Oh, really?
They both got songs with Kel. So I'm like, they just decided not to play because of what was going on. So I'm like, do we cancel like the songs he got with like Sparkle? Because that's like one of my favorite songs. So do we just get rid of that? That song right there was hitting. Like, so do we get rid of all of his music? Like I said, do we just cut him out completely and the people he worked with completely? Or do we just be like, I don't know.
I wish he would have got the help that he
he got everybody. Do we cancel Cassidy? Because Cassidy's biggest song was with R. Kelly. So do we cancel Cassidy too? Like, you know what he was doing? We ain't listening to your music no more?
I think some artists did know what he was doing.
I do too.
I think that some of them knew what he was doing, and they just like put a
in the interview, Dame Dash said he came to the studio and it was girls in the studio, and he had to put him out like he wasn't about that. So
I respect that.
do we cancel all the other artists that work with him or and knew what was going on?
Listen, like at some point, right? The buck stopped with R. That's really what it comes down to, right? In think about any other case, whether it's a racketeering case or anything like that, right? Racketeering is a good example. Racketeering is you being associated with the crime, but you didn't necessarily commit it yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
R. Kelly committed the crime, so he's gonna be the number one. Now, morally and ethically, should many others suffer similar penalties? Absolutely.
Yes.
But it's just not gonna go down that way. The question about the artists that work with him, did they set it up?
Even in racketeering, though, you know, all the conspiracy charges usually get ran through. So, like, if one of the artists was in a studio with R. Kelly and he had little girls running around and they wearing dog collars naked, do they get the charge too?
It would go down. It would go down in history as the largest sexual racketeering case in the world. That's really what it would happen. But I got cut off because I was trying to hit the mic button. What I wanted to say is this, because Teezy talked about R going through his personal issues and as he grew up, and I'm not going to discount any of that. But as an average man, right, out here just trying to live life, I'm using myself as an example. I got my own issues. We all do. Most of us got, number one, an issue with facing those issues, so we don't go get the help. But then number two, we get labeled and shunned in some situations with even going for help. But then lastly is the cost, like you said, Teezy. This man got all the money in the world and could have gotten help if he wanted it. And that's what it boils down to. So you can sit here now and pay all this money to these lawyers and all this to try to. I put him in the same category with Tom Brady. When Deflategate happened with the Patriots, that man went and hired his own personal lawyer to get him off the hook, so his image could remain intact, even though he knew about what was going on. R. Kelly just did the same thing. Spent all this money, wasted all this time, knowing he was guilty. He was hoping and praying that needle in a haystack would come through and he'd walk home, but it didn't. There's no, I don't care what trauma you try to point out in your past. You could have overcome that. You had every opportunity to be able to do that, and he chose not to. So now you want to clean yourself up? No.
So that's what made me not feel sorry for him, because I did feel, you know, once I learned the background of his life, you know, I felt a little bit like, well, damn. But then when you think about it, it's like you had every opportunity and you chose to go the other way.
Right.
Well, you got to think that they put that backstory out.
Robert from R. Kelly.
They put that backstory out just to soften people, to make you soft. It's just a media play. Like, this is what he went through. This is what he had to endure, and this is why he's doing this. He doesn't mean it. It was all media spin. So
my thing is, how, like, I want to know why the adult women that were actually adults, when y'all heard about all this stuff R. Kelly was doing, y'all knew, or I don't know if I guess they didn't believe it, but why would y'all go mess with him? Like, y'all grown woman now. I don't know if I feel too bad. Like, I don't know if that sound, you know, harsh or whatever, but I don't know if I feel as bad for the grown woman that knew what R. Kelly was about, knew that he had all these stories under his belt, knew that there was a videotape of him, you know, pissing and shit on a little girl, a teenager. That, you know, that wasn't fake. So I honestly don't know if I feel as bad for them as I do for when the girls, when they, you know, the girls that were young, the girls that were children and teenagers. Because I'm trying to figure out what in your right mind, I mean, it could have been money, but what in your right mind would make you say, like, I know all this stuff about R. Kelly and I'm a grown woman and I'm going to still choose to go deal with him?
So you say you feel for, like, his ex-wife?
Huh?
So you saying you feel for like his ex-wife? Because I'm sure she knew about a lot of it.
But
I'm
I
sure she
don't
was
think
getting phone calls.
I don't know if in the beginning she knew like R. Kelly was like that when because they was together for a long time. So I don't like in the beginning. I don't probably think she knew that what she was getting into, the monster that she was with. I mean, but as time when she definitely knew, and she sat there like and didn't really say much. I do feel bad for her, but I'm talking about like the women that were like on the Surviving Kelly and they were adults and they were talking about how they started messing with him when they were grown. And I'm just trying to figure out like, and I could say just like an everyday thing, like women and men do that all the time. They mess with people knowing it's no good for them. But when you knew about all that stuff he was doing to them kids, like what in your mind made you say like, I don't care. I like him. I'ma still deal with him. Like I don't feel bad that stuff happened. I'm
Money,
not that I don't feel bad, but I don't
Money.
feel it's bad.
money.
Money.
And plus he probably had a
And
different
then,
type of pull on her. He been with her so long, just like he bribed other people. He definitely had to bribe his wife, threaten her, or scare her. It
Yeah,
could
I'm
have
not
been mad
talking
different
about
ways.
her. I'm talking about there was like
Oh,
there was a few grown women on Surviving R. Kelly that were
okay.
grown. They knew about all the things R. Kelly did. They knew
And
about him
still
messing
willing to
with
mess with him.
children. The video was out, and they still decided to deal with R. Kelly. So on my end, I'm saying like I don't know if I feel it's
Okay.
bad for them because I felt like they made that choice and decision, as I feel
Fact.
for those children, those girls when they were young and that was happening to them. Like I don't
Money.
know if I
Fact.
could.
Sorry, I had thought you was talking about
Nah,
the
it's
wife
straight.
still.
I just don't know if I could be feeling like, oh, because they knew. I feel like they knew.
Yeah, money and opportunity. That's all that really was. Money and opportunity. Money in their pocket
They was
right
just like,
now, and the
okay, we taking
opportunity
it. I
later.
don't know nothing. I don't see nothing.
It's crazy. Like money will really make people just like. It's
Look the
scary.
other
That's
way.
scary.
Well, look. We talking about R. Kelly. You could talk about what's his name? Robert. What is his name? Jeffrey Epstein, the one that died in
Oh,
jail. Like they killed him because he had politicians on his private island and on his airplane, and he had too many people that he knew was messing with underage young girls from other countries. That they was like, nah, we got to get rid of this one.
yeah,
We
he was
can't let
doing
him
a
talk.
lot.
So they prosecuted
Listen,
R. Kelly
he
faster than
had
they
the
did him.
And,
he
and
had
you
the
know what's crazy?
president under was
His
it
thumb.
just
Yeah.
right there. President was right there under his thumb. That's why, because Trump was a part of that. So they had to get rid of him. R. Kelly wasn't that much of a threat. Now you want to talk about the hugest case that would have went down in history? That would have been it because
That
there's
would
so
have been
many
it right
politicians
there.
involved with it.
Right.
And you see
But
they
they wasn't letting that happen.
you see one of the princes from England he got a lawsuit over that now. Because he was one of the main people going to the island every other week. And the girl came forward and she got pictures and everything. Like, yeah, he was, yeah. So, like I said, they prosecuted R. Kelly faster than they prosecuted him because they know his list of people he would have had to tell on would have been
All them people.
ridiculous. The
Right.
whole half of Congress, they said Bill Clinton was on his plane, taking trips with him back and forth from.
Listen, I ain't putting nothing past none of them. You hear me? Like I ain't putting nothing past none of them people, cause that they be on that type of time. Okay, it ain't right. I don't know. So you think because so what do you think it is with the black community? Because what do you think it is with us feeling so strongly how we feel? Like I know that when all of the Surviving R. Kelly and even with the trial came out, it was like a war, kind of like not a war, but it was like one half saying this, like, man, I'm still playing R. Kelly music. People was making jokes about it. Then you had half of the people on some like, this ain't funny, and I ain't playing his music. So why do you think why you think that we so was I know well. I don't want to say embedded because I could just say easily because R. Kelly was a part of us growing up. So that would be the easy answer. But, why you think it affected our people so much the way that it is? Do you think
Because
it's affecting our people?
I think we've been so strong on continuing to support him just because he's one of ours, as opposed to kind of not as opposed to, but just like they continue to support theirs. Like I said when I first started, you can start with Elvis, but you can go down the line just to as recent as the leader of the free world, right? Donald Trump. They've all been a part of something that has all been covered up and covered up and covered up. And then even some of it that has popped out and been on mainstream, it's still kind of been ignored. Like, okay, yeah, they did that, but we still going to support them. So I think a big part of it was that, not really honing in on the act or acts that he did, but more so what, you know what, we need to support ours because they won't, and they keep bigging theirs up. Listen, you could bring this topic up to everybody and bring Elvis up. Think about it. What do? They sidestep. They don't address it head on. They sidestep it. But they want us to address ours head on. No, why can't we treat ours the same way you treat yours? That's my opinion.
Right.
Okay, I like that perspective. Okay. Wait, let me read some comments. Kendra said, what's up, Kendra? She said, same thing with Bill Cosby. And then Marcus, what's up, Marcus? What's up, bro? He said, I think some people are so tired of society coming for black people, especially the black men. Especially, what did he say? Especially Nate.
Not exactly, Nate.
Oh, what I'm getting at. I guess that's what he's saying.
He was agreeing with me. See?
Oh, he said exactly, Nate. Kendra said, I'm not going to stop watching the Cosby Show or listening to their music because they were both a main part of our childhood.
Facts.
But I do believe that they were wrong. So that's her being
they
able to
just covered
separate
up
the
some
two.
real stuff. They just covered up some crazy stuff, yeah.
But see, you know, like they said, when they get caught, I'll be like, listen, I'll be happy. I don't care. Like, put them under the jail. Put them under the.
And what's so crazy is that it's so many people like them in the government. We already know. Like it's since they want to put R. Kelly, they want to sit here and put R. Kelly and Bill Cosby on blast and quit to do them. But come on, it's mad. Like let's get these white people. Like it ain't a white and a black thing. I ain't trying to get there, but come on, it's too many white people doing these sex rings, going to hotels. We hearing about it, but they quick to put a black person on and make an example out of them real quick. But it takes years and days. It takes years, months, and whatever to go get them white people locked up. They want to keep continuing cases and all that stuff.
Or you don't hear no more about it.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. I agree with all of that, but Robert's still wrong.
They all wrong. They all wrong.
No, they all wrong.
They all wrong.
Yeah, that's just the point. How quick they able to just
go down.
But the government will make it a point to make sure that the black man that's doing it is an example of this is what happened. So,
and they quick like, oh, we have a story. This just in live, R. Kelly. Nah, let's get a whole bunch of people. Y'all got it going. Let's keep on going.
For real.
You're not gonna see
most people in the government protected. Because wait, what governor? Not governor. Was that the governor of New York that just stepped down because of some sexual?
Yep.
The twin brother, the brother.
Yep.
And now they trying to bring his brother down.
Now they saying his brother
was messing with somebody, sexually assaulting and stuff like that. So I guess they trying to bring down who they want to bring down.
I mean, that sexual assault stuff to me, it's a slippery slope because sometimes it'd be like, all right, he sexually assaulted her, but like I know one of the cases they said the mayor hugged the girl and she was like, he put his hand on my back and I didn't like that, and I'm just like,
yeah, because when you define sexual assault, it's like really kind of, I don't want to say vague, but it's like
vague. You can say vague.
Even if me and you talking and Tiffany over here and she don't like our conversation and it's sexual, we in trouble.
Yeah, we in trouble.
Right.
So
I get that part. And then I feel like in no means, you guys, those that are tuning in, like we're not trying to like say anything bad when it comes to, people getting sexually assaulted, raped, abused. I don't think nobody on this panel is down for that. I don't think any of us agree with any of that. And, so I don't want anybody up here thinking that at all. We just all speaking on our perspectives, how we feel. I just want to make that clear. She said, no. She said, true. They're definitely about to smoke his boots because he's black and broke. He done spent up all his
Facts.
money trying to hide what he did.
Well,
Right.
one of his managers or his brother or cousin or somebody robbed him for a whole bunch of money because R. Kelly. I didn't know R. Kelly didn't go to like he didn't graduate high school. He
Oh yeah,
didn't
he couldn't read,
graduate. He
write, and
can't
stuff.
read or write. Like he just knew music and like they just used his gift. One of his like I said, managers or brothers or cousins like bought houses and stopped paying the taxes and was buying cars and just taking money out the account. So R. Kelly ain't really got no money. So he couldn't keep his case going like some of these other people that's just like, we'll get a continuance. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, but this is all his fault. Like,
It is.
he had the means to do all of this. He had the means to get a tutor. He had the means to go to school. He had the means to have somebody come in the studio teaching him how to write. R. Kelly never took advantage of nothing that was going to make him a better man. He decided to stay that man and try to cover it up with everything else. And we already know that eventually when you do some shit like that and when you do some shit in the dark, it's going to come. It don't matter how long it takes. So R. Kelly, along with all these other people that we talking about, it's gonna come to light at some point in time.
Right.
I don't know.
I
I'm
mean,
lightening up a little bit. I feel like with the music aspect, but I just be shaking my head because it's just like wow. And I mean like the whole Elvis thing. I didn't even know about Elvis doing all of that until the R. Kelly shit started coming out. Then I started learning more about the type of man that Elvis was and him marrying the 13. I'm like, what? Like he should have been put under the jail
Cross.
too. Like,
He should have been put on a cross
for,
and burnt,
for real.
but no, he's the king of something,
rock. What was it? What were you the
rock and
king
roll or
of?
something.
I'm the
Who,
king
Elvis?
of.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but I don't. I don't know. So then this kind of sparked another thing that I seen because of this whole R. Kelly thing. I started seeing a lot of posts and comments talking about. We kind of talked about it on the show before. To where now the guys was like, well, y'all talking about R. Kelly, but y'all females in high school was messing with older men. So how does that make the older men any different than when y'all was young and running around messing with older men while you were a teenager in high school? So I started seeing a lot of comments and conversation about that because of the R. Kelly thing. And I don't know, I can't relate. I never messed with like older men when I was in high school or anything like that. So I don't really, I know people that did. I have friends and stuff that they mess with older dudes and stuff like that. But I don't know what type of experience that is. I mean, I just wasn't into that. But people was just really relating it and going back and forth like, but y'all girls was the ones that was hot because y'all was messing with these older men. How y'all feel about that, ladies? Men? I mean, did y'all mess with girls in high school, Nate and say?
Look, I mess with girls I went to school
DJ
with, so I seen them every day. I messed with girls. I messed with girls that was 18 and over. But when I was under 18, when I was like 17, I was messing with girls that was like 16, 15. So I mean, I don't know I don't know.
My rule of
He
thumb,
shake his head.
I always went up. I never went down. I always went up. And I had a most embarrassing moment in high school. It was embarrassing to me because I really went up. I don't know how and why, but at 17, I had my hands on a 30-year-old. And while it obviously was
Jeez.
only really about one or two things, to be honest, she spent money, and we already know what number two is. It was really, that's all it really was about for me at that time. But my mom caught wind of it, and the lady called the house one night, and that was the last night she called the house. Never called the house again. But back then, I didn't look at it in a negative way. I guess from a legal standpoint, she was committing a crime. I never liked to deal at that time, and even now, I never like to deal with people younger than me, especially mentally. If you can't hold a conversation with me, that's going to be a problem for us. I don't care about of everything else because it tells me how young you are. My wife, I've been married one time, not married currently, but she happens to be my same age. And even that didn't work out. So in life now, I'm dealing with somebody younger than me, and it comes with its headaches. It does. Anybody who says otherwise is just lying. But it comes with its headaches because of maturity, and those depending on how many years difference between you and that individual.
Right.
You know? But there is a double standard. There is a double standard, right? Because when I was, a youngin', if you will, 17, playing like I was an adult, that was one thing. But now as an adult, I look back and I'm like, yeah, that wasn't right. That wasn't right at all on any level. I think, but let's say that take the same scenario. Now, for example, I can say that there's 8 years between me and my significant other. Now, take that back to high school. I graduated high school at 18. She was 10 years old. I would have been committing a major crime, right? 18 and 10. But as adults, why is it different? Because we're both consenting adults, but I still, like, we have this conversation and fun all the time. She's like, yeah, remember, I was 10 when you was 18.
And it just sound crazy, though. Like, when you say stuff like that, just be like, wait, what?
Sorry, just, like, police is on the street. But, yeah, it's a double. That's why I say it's a double. You're not supposed to have your light on when you drive. But
what you gonna do? The cops come say.
It's a double standard. Because if I was in high school dating a 10 or messing with a 10,
oh, you'd be locked up.
Oh, you going down.
You'd have been under the jail.
But now that we're both, quote unquote, of legal age, an 8-year difference won't get you locked up. But you still deal with the headaches of it.
Right. Okay. Well, let me read some more comments.
I ain't hear none of the ladies chime in on that, though. I'm just going to put that out there.
I'm going to have the ladies chime in. Let me read the comments because I want them to chime in, too, because they've been kind of quiet. But, last week they was holding it down. All right, so...
Yeah, he was
Kendra said the older men should have known better. What's up, Dina? She said, agree. She said she has some classmates that mess with older men. Kendra said kids are naive. She said most girls in high school are rebellious and looking for attention. If the older man wasn't showing interest, she wouldn't think it was acceptable. I like that. I agree with that to an extent, I guess. I think, I don't know. I mean, it is easier to manipulate a younger person. It is. You don't think so?
Hey, look, I know some younger girls that was in high school with me that only dated older men. So,
but that's what I'm saying. Some people, they do like older men and older women, and then when you see them like in their later years, like DJ Igma said, they mess with older people because that's what they that's what they like, that's what they were used to. But I don't know if it's right that a man dating a high school kid. Like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I have 2 daughters, and I would not want my 16-year-old, dating a grown ass man. I would kind of feel some type of way about that. I think, like as a mom,
I agree.
Like, and we have daughters. I know Isa has daughters. Right. I know Tiffany has daughters. I don't know if y'all ever mess with, because like y'all DJ Igma, y'all ain't answer the question, ladies. Did y'all ever mess with...
I'm sorry, my daughter was just talking to me. So what's the question?
Did y'all ever mess with older men when you guys were in high school? Like older than your age and out of high school?
I always dated men either my age or, I ain't gonna lie, probably like a year younger than me, a year or 2 younger than me, but other than that, no.
I didn't have a boyfriend until I
never dated older men and that.
Tristan, I didn't have a boyfriend until I was 18.
No, on some real, I didn't start dating until I got out of high school too. Like I really didn't start have a boyfriend until I was out of high school. Like I don't know. That wasn't my mind.
I'm glad. I'm thankful for who I am. I
really wasn't. So I don't know. They said I
used to watch everybody else being bad. Like, girl, I used to like people. You feel me? All that stuff, but. Up.
Because as mothers, I don't know. So is it different with boy dad? So like, Nate, I know you got sons. Like, if your sons came home like mom, sorry, like dad, like came home like dad. Yo, I got me a young tenderoni. Like, how would you feel, or vice versa, with them saying, I got me an OG? Like, how would y'all feel as fathers? Like, how would that?
Like, my son told me about his girlfriend. That first thing we asked was, how old is she? And we was like, oh, okay, like, y'all around the same age. That's good. So, I mean, it's like he said, it's different because, like, when you growing up, when you growing up, people you date is usually the people that's around you. Like, and it's usually kids that's your own age until you get out of that bubble and you start meeting other people. Then you start meeting older people and wondering what that's like. But as a kid under 18, like the rule is you only date people in 18, I say 18 to 14 or 18 to 16.
What rule?
So,
and you know what I noticed? Like, you know, even though you like 30 or whatever, like we don't feel like we 30. Like I know y'all can relate. Like I feel like when I'm driving these kids on a bus, like, yo, I'm still 16. Like don't get it popping. If anybody want to get it popping, I'm still 16. Stop playing.
Right. No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so
I
that's
guess I
just
get what
like
you're
you
saying.
see a little cute little boy. You be like, oh, that little boy all cute, but you know darn well, like it's a sick thing that if somebody. Nah, let's keep it real. Cause now I always try to put myself even in guys' shoes. I think of I try to wonder why. So guys, they still think like you still think that you're young or something. And something gotta be wrong with your brain to just go for it and go ahead and think that it's okay to talk to that person. You know right from wrong. Like this little boy could be the cutest little boy, but and you be like, boy, you feel me? Like, no, this little boy, like you're a little boy. You might think you're a man, but you're not. Like he was saying, the mindset, mentality, you won't even be able to handle me. You won't even be. I got way too much experience on me to even do.
You're gonna be like, all right.
Boy, I'll break your heart. Stop playing, Osmond.
I never mess with nobody like younger. Like I don't know. I always mess with like people my age or a little bit older than me. Like I never really was the type to mess with like younger people.
But we always had sayings like, if you see a girl and she got on some Hello Kitty sneakers,
not even 1 year younger.
She too young. If you see a girl, she walking down the street, she got a book bag on, keep it moving. If she got pigtails in her hair, nah, let's keep it moving. So, but like in today's society, parents who are allowing their daughters to get these looks that's way above what they should be doing, getting their daughters lace front wigs and all these provocative clothes. And then when their daughter meets somebody older and they wondering how, like, yeah, your daughter was just at the break room in Manchester and she only 16. Like,
you already, that is such a battle.
I'm just saying.
World and the way that the kids dress and how we was looking like kids, okay? Like, yeah, some girls had other shit. Yeah, when we were younger.
Not all of y'all.
No, but listen, that's not. Let me talk. I was trying to say, like, some girls, you know, they had their shades, they dressed grown, but I feel like majority of us growing up when we were younger, we looked like little girls. Even like the little girls now that's 5, 6, 7, 8, they don't want beads no more. The fuck, we've been wearing beads forever. Like, it's so different. Now, like you said, they got the lashes, they got the wigs, they got the big this, the big that. It's crazy. So, it's scary. That's what I'm gonna say. It's scary out here.
I want to address what you said about being a dad of a boy as opposed to a girl.
Okay.
I know that the Almighty knew not to give me a daughter. Like he knew it because. Right. If I had a daughter, my son is 13, and I gotta cringe at some of the stuff he says to me. But I'm gonna be very honest with you. Let me go back to my first statement. I'm glad I don't have a daughter because if she was as fresh as I see these little girls, and you guys gotta remember, I work with kids. I work with kids in the school system, and I see stuff every day, all day.
Yeah.
And how they talk, how they present themselves, how they curse, how they dress, it's just way different. I agree with you, Teezy. Back in the day, you know, we had those ones that we knew what was what based on how they appear. You know, I walk in the school system, I see boys touching booties and breasts, and I'm like, you in middle school? What is y'all doing? If I walked up and saw my son disrespecting somebody's daughter in the way I see these girls getting disrespected, I would handle him right there. So that everybody sees that dad don't condone this. You know what I mean?
Right.
There is a big, huge disconnect between how it used to be and how it is now.
Very much.
As a father of my son, Here's my number. Now I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip this bitch upside down for y'all. I want my son to come home in this day and age and tell me he's interested in a girl, because society keeps pushing other shit, and that's where I'm gonna leave it on that one, right? So my son can come home and tell me, Dad, you know, I like this little girl, whatever. Okay, we could talk about what grade she in. Where is she? Let's talk about it.
Right.
Oh, she in your school, right? Yeah. I got math with her. He's not. My son is not one yet. I say yet because no matter how much we teach our kids, society still has an impression on them, right? And he hasn't been that one yet to come home and be like, yo, I got this 20-year-old thing. Like, because I don't know how to respond, to be honest with you. Remember, I'm a 17-year-old who had a 30-year-old, right? So how do I respond to my son now who's coming in that same ballpark of time, right?
The same way your mama did.
Well, yeah, well, I don't think I would. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I would. But I don't think it makes me a bad person. I just don't think I would handle it the way mama did. I want to believe that I would have an intelligent conversation with my child that would hopefully help him in the way of forming him. Because, again, I'm going to restate it. No matter how much we want to teach our kids or how we want to teach our kids, society has found a way to stake a claim on them, even through what we teach them.
Yeah.
So it becomes hard. To answer that question, how do you address that with your kids? It becomes hard. I've always said, half of the stuff that my kid might do that's negative, I'm probably going to laugh at it first. And then if I got to whoop your ass, I'm going to whoop your ass. But I'm probably going to laugh first because I probably see myself doing some of that same stupidness when I was a kid. But now I also got to set you straight. So it is a tough cookie. It is a tough cookie. It's all about how can you break that down and eat it.
Because whatever was chasing you is definitely chasing after our kids. So we definitely want to make sure that we don't let them get caught up with or worse.
Right. Yeah, because I understand that as a girl mom though. I think I'll be like, what? You, huh? Who? FaceTime him right motherfucking now. I need to see his face so I could get number, face, address, everything. Because motherfucker, you going down. I don't give a fuck. My daughter in high school. You not about to be no 21, 22, 23, 24. You not about to do that. You better go fall back and go find somebody that's your age. Like, I think that as in high school, of course, we are more naive than older people. And sometimes they naive too and they ain't smart enough to make the correct decisions. But I cannot picture, like, I think it would just do something to me. Like, my daughter in high school and the older man after her. Like, what's the difference of when R. Kelly, like y'all saying we all need to hold everybody accountable. So, you know, just regular life. What's the difference from when R. Kelly was going to these high schools and these playgrounds and sitting there preying these girls and scouting them versus somebody just in a regular community doing the same thing, posting up at these high schools, trying to bag these girls, trying to bag these guys. Because like you said, it's some older women. But that's the thing. I don't know as men, how does that feel? You know, for y'all, I think it might feel good when an older woman trying to get at you. I don't know though, because I'm not a man. I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. It was an ego boost. It was an ego boost when I was young. You know what I mean? Everybody around you is like, yo, I got Tamika, you know, from the block. When I'm like, no, I got a 30-year-old from the burbs. And she
you can brag.
You can brag a little bit, right? But at the same time, it is absolutely wrong. And again, as a kid, I wasn't under that impression. You know, from my perspective and the example given, she was buying me stuff all the time, or was buying them stuff all the time. You know what I mean? And I was getting something that I wanted out of the deal. You know what I mean? So to me, it worked. But to mom, who saw the real, she saw the real. Like, no, this is not right, and I'm not condoning it. So that is the right response. Unfortunately, in ours case, you had a bunch of women, and I'm talking about the mothers here, mothers of those girls. They really saw a financial payday instead of their daughters. That's really what it boils down to, in my opinion, with them. They saw an opportunity to get a payout.
So you think that all the children, all the girls that were involved in this situation with R. Kelly, you think that everybody was down for a payment, or you think that some of them was and some of them just really didn't know what was going on.
I mean, it's a toss up. It's a toss salad. You know what I mean? You got a lot of people who saw an opportunity for money. You had other people because I mean, again, when we're young, like Mama said, we're young and dumb to a lot, right?
Young, dumb, and full of cum.
Right. And, you know, they thought maybe they really thought they could be R. Kelly's newest thing. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what they really thought. Maybe they didn't see the animal that was really in him.
I don't know. I feel like if I would have heard, or even like when the tape came, like all of that stuff would have kind of pushed me away. I would never have felt comfortable putting my children in that situation to go make music with R. Kelly just because of who he was, knowing that he did this, or knowing that all these rumors, because they wasn't proven at that time. But it was too many things surrounding him and youth for me as a mom to be like, oh, this big star, and let me send you there. Let me leave you there. Like Nate said earlier, like you leaving your kid for a month with a grown man. Like I don't think that as me as a girl mom, I would never feel comfortable with that. Like that, I don't know. I kind of would blame myself for some of that, the things that happened to my daughter, because, and I'm not talking about the ones that was doing it for money wise, because they wrong as hell for that. Fuck them. But the ones that kind of like knew about the rumors and the videotape, and they still kind of had faith to think that he wasn't like that. It would have been too much. I would have had to like cut that. We wouldn't have been able to do that. We would have had to find another way to be successful.
So I gotta go, but I want to leave you with this thought on that, right? So the world rotates on an axis. We all learned that in like middle school, right? I firmly believe that in many ways, especially in society, that axis is broken. The axis is absolutely broken. Like you watch all these movies, right? These movies that talk about natural disasters, and the earth is this and the earth is that, right? So let's take that same concept. The earth is off its axis everywhere. In every society, no matter what continent you talk about, it's just the world is crazy, right? We as people, we just as crazy. We done lost our axis, our rotation. Like the things that society used to say was cool, ain't cool no more. Things that was cool ain't cool no more. Like it's and you can add it to any given topic that we might discuss. But my response to why we off our axis, man. This world is gone from Little House on the Prairie days to the Wild Wild West all over again. And guess what? The Little House on the Prairie was during the Wild Wild West. So like it's really crazy, right? We don't have no morals, ethics. They're all
that's out the window.
They're way out the window. And that's really what it is for me. I struggled. I'm 45 years old this month, and go back to the statement I think Tiffany made. I don't feel 45. If you ask me how old I am, I feel 25.
For real.
Because that's how I live. My student said to me the other day, Mister, why so much drip? I'm like, whoa, drip. Why I'm dressed the way I'm dressed? Like, because I like to dress like this. Like no teacher can get what I can do with these kids because of me. Like ever since, matter of fact, it's funny because Issa's son, I had her son, and we had the best relationship the whole time that he was in that school with me. But it's because of who I am. It's because of how I relate to the kids, right? Yep. And I come from an age where a 45-year-old in my time had on slacks and penny loafers, walking around with a button-up shirt, where I got on hoodies, designer jeans, and some kind of sneaker on my foot, and I'm comfortable, and I can reach these kids in a way, right?
Because you're relatable.
From morals.
So you can relate
I come from ethics. I come from a belief system that says this is wrong, this is right. Yeah, we got that all twisted up now. It is so.
Oh my God,
you got to figure out life all over again. So, with that said, I appreciate y'all adding me in tonight, but I do have to go.
Thank you for coming on.
Definitely.
Later, man. Come again soon. Thanks for the wisdom.
Right.
Y'all have a good one, man.
You too. Good night. So let me read some of these comments. He said some good stuff. Drina, she said she dated an older guy a few years ago. He would tell her stories and she would reply, dang, I wasn't even born yet. That should just sound crazy. Like, I wasn't even born yet. And then Kendra said it's definitely not right. I think she was talking about the whole high school thing. And then she said, I wish Stringo Tracy. She's talking about my daughter. She said, that's my baby girl. We both gonna strangle her because you ain't about to tell me I would want my kid to be open with me about stuff like that. But I just, as a mom, I ain't with that. I ain't with my daughter dating no older man. You going to, if I'm gonna shoot you, you going down. Something get happened.
Because you basically prayed on her. And you know what you're doing.
He gonna be me and your mother and God.
And basically that person is praying on your child, and y'all know what's up. So as an adult, me and you, we're gonna have problems because you praying on my kid, and I'm gonna kill you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, like I said, I don't know what people get. I think that's some type of psychological shit going on when people like young kids, like young high school girls, and you in your 20s and your 30s, like, and you like high school
and you
girls
can tell
and boys,
when they
like,
kids.
that ain't right. Like, what you gonna get from them? Like, what are you doing? Like, it's so much poom and cock out here in your age group, and you gotta go want to get some poom and cock.
Poom and cock.
I try to use some, not too, bad language.
You got it, girl.
It's so much, like, it's just like, why would you sit there and pray on some, like, what is it? Because is it an excitement? I know y'all can't answer that because
they're like one of the comments said naive.
Yeah,
because you're not thinking right now. They know that the person is not smart. They know that as a young person, you're not gonna know what is right and what is really truly wrong at the time. You think that you are mature enough to handle the next person, but the next person they got so many years on you that they really psyching you out. They playing you.
They talking all that good shit. You young as fuck, like.
Well, look. So hold on. I'm gonna give you an example. So I know somebody that was 20. I don't know how old he was at the time. He had to be like 23 or 24, and he was dating a girl that was 15. So the mother had a problem with it, and the mother pressed charges on him, and he went to jail. He was in jail for a while, and when he got out of jail, the girl that he was dating was like 18 now and still messing with him, and they ended up getting married and having kids, and they still together.
Oh, the same girl?
The same girl. So
well, it looked like he should have waited until she was 18. And he paid
they got kids together, they still together, and like they got married. They got married, but he still got this charge under his belt of being a sexual predator.
He should have waited.
So it's like
Nate, if you had daughters, you would not want no 20-something-year-old.
No. I'm not saying I agree with it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just giving you an example. Cause like I said, I know the dude, so we was all like, "Yo, you shouldn't be messing with her." And then when he was going through his legal troubles with her, we knew he was getting locked up. We was like, but at the same time, I gotta admit, when he got out of jail and reconnected with her, like he loved her, like. So
then you got those older people who be like, oh, because I remember I was young, somebody be like, oh, I pay your phone bill. You could just do that. You feel me? Like they will do everything in a book because they're so lonely. You're so lonely that you want a young. Some older men want to still feel young. You give them life. You feel me? Like I had people say that, but at the end of the day, what somebody look like sitting with some older person, you don't have life in you, my nigga. You about to be.
You better make yourself have life within self. What the fuck, like?
Right.
What?
I'm like, ain't nobody about to be here with you, and you don't. No, that's wrong. Some people can identify what is wrong, and some people can't. It's like depending on where you at in life, you will end up falling for things like that, or if you feel like nobody else wants you. Like right now, we think we sit here trying to find people our age, but the maturity level is so low that it makes you feel like you do have to date an older person. That's the sad
I was about to say a lot of women date older men. Like
I was about to say it don't even matter if you.
That's going around. My homegirl goes with she's dating an older guy, and it's crazy because older men it's sad that it take that long. but now they're able to cater to you in a way. They know what women want, what women needs at this age. They're like, you don't need no little boy, you need a man. But the part that gets me is that, yo, you getting older than me, and then hopefully, not that sex is everything. But when it comes down to that part, you're not gonna cause me to sit there and commit adultery. Because some guys are okay with it. Like, even though I'm getting old, you know, I don't want to know what you're doing, but I know at that point, if you feel like you need to step out, you feel me? Like, let's keep it real. We know there's people out there, like, you won't be able to step out. But me, I can't do that. You're not going to have me. If I know that I'm going to end up doing some stuff like that, I'm not even going to do it at all.
I'm not about to sign
I'll find mine. What you say, Shantae?
I'm not about to sign that contract, okay? Shit. After you done involuntarily the contract with somebody stepping out for you on, nah, nigga, I ain't voluntarily signing shit. I'm good. But so the girls in high school, I feel like that messed with like older men. I feel like they thought that they was doing something too. Not only the guys felt like that, but I felt like the girls in high school thought they was the shit because they was messing with older men. Like, I don't know what they got out of that. Like, I wonder if that had to do with like daddy issues or attention or insecurities.
Look, when I was in high school, right, I used to ride my bike from Weathersfield to like either Weaver or Buckley all the time just to, you know, go see my other friends. And like dudes in cars was picking up girls that I was trying to talk to. So like I can't compete with that.
Oh, because they had the cars.
You got a car. Like you driving around in a 90, 99 or 97 Honda Accord at the time because I'm old. And like I'm on a bike. So younger women was choosing older men. I don't know if y'all felt like older men was ready to settle down or what, but like that's what the younger women were doing. So
they was definitely feeling themselves. They thought they was all of that.
Personally, I don't know what people's preference is.
But like I said, like I can't really speak on it because I ain't never messed with an older guy when I was in high school. Like I don't know, I just never in my mind like wanted to be a teenager messing with a grown man. That just didn't cross my brain. I mean, like you said, some girls did it because they jumping in a car. What they said, I think last time we was talking about this, they was like that because who said that? Web, they bought the McDonald's and had them in their little Honda, and the girl felt special. But that shows you the youngness, the being immaturity. Because as women now, we gonna be looking at you like, what? Dina said, look at Celine Dion. What Celine Dion do? Wasn't she dating like older men or something or younger? Celine Dion, I think, was dating older men, I feel like. I don't think she was dating younger men. So, all right, so, Isa, you've been quiet. You've been real quiet, boo.
So, like I said, you know, I can't, I don't have nobody's preference, but that's a touchy situation because probably, like a couple of years ago, one of my coworkers, that's my mom's age, caught herself trying to like push up on me, like get my mom's age one. I got a 15-year-old, and I'm telling you, for me, I can't do it. I can't see it. I mean, whatever knocks everybody else goes, but not over here. I just don't agree with it. Like, you know, a couple of years, maybe 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, but I just can't see it. I can't do it at all, period. You know, just the thought of a grown man even being interested in a young female. What are you gonna do?
Wait, hold on.
What are you gonna do with her?
Headphones on?
For him?
You got headphones in your ear?
Yeah, I'm echoing.
Take it out. Let me see something. Because it sounds real staticky. Let me see if that's you. Take them out. Go ahead and talk. Yup. You got to move those.
You can
Because
hear me now?
way better, but you got to
All
move your
right.
headphones. All right. All right, go ahead.
But yeah, like I was saying, like I can't see it. I can't see anyone messing with. I got sons, and I wouldn't even approve of them messing with older women. Like, because at the end of the day, what are you gaining? What are you gonna get from it? Like, seriously.
See, I'm not a boy mom, but I hear moms say, like, I've seen people like write posts about that. Like they be going ham about like women their age messing with their sons, and they have a problem with that. Okay.
I would, because at the end of the day, you're still a child, and I'm not going to treat you like, oh, because I'm a boy. You know, some people you getting played too. Just like a female get played by these guys, you are still getting played too, and I'm not about to let that happen to my son, because then he's scarred. Because when that older lady hurt him or whatever,
It's
now
gonna
he
be a
might look
wrap
at
for
the
all other
world.
females.
Yeah, so it's just like, no, I'm not. It's wrong. It's that's just like, you know, boys playing with girls little, but they don't even really know it's a girl toy. You feel me? Like an example like that. So we go hard. Don't play with girls. That's like, that's a child. They have feelings at the end of the day. So depending on how you gonna deal with them about, oh, this is a girl toy, this is a boy toy, we gotta watch how we gotta realize that the kid is just a kid. They don't. We are older. We know what it is, but they don't look at life the way that we look at life, unless we put it on them.
Yeah, I think all of us as parents now, I mean, I think it just gives us all that perspective of just like no, like I don't want my kid on no R. Kelly shit, like or no
It'd be like,
Robert shit.
excuse me,
Like
lady,
I
you
don't
a
want my
racist?
like I mean
And then child
no.
support. Wait, hold up. You can let my son get you knocked up, and you start coming over here about child support and all that stuff. You best believe me and you is about to be fighting.
Yo. All right, so we found out some information about Celine Dion. She was 14 and her husband was in his 30s.
Damn.
And then she said that was the only man that she was with.
Was she part of like
Control.
that country sell your daughter? Well, you know, in certain states, they can still get married at 14 to. I think Mormons practice that, and who else? Some other
I don't know.
religions.
I mean, I
Mormons.
know certain places you can get they marry them young. But that's not our culture. That's I mean, I don't know. I don't hate it, but sometimes when people throw in like, oh, but if we was living here, it would have been like this. But the thing is, we not living there, so you could compare all you want. If we lived in Africa, or if we lived in Ethiopia, if we lived in like, you can't say that to 100% because we don't live there. So we don't, and yeah, we don't all follow the standards of where we live now, but we don't live there, so we don't relate to that. We didn't do those type of things. Like we didn't indulge in marrying our kids at a young age, or our parents putting together marriages and saying you're gonna marry this person. It don't matter if you don't like it. You don't even know this person, and they teaming you up to marry somebody. Like we don't indulge in that stuff. So I cannot look at that as a positive. Like I don't know, I can't. And that's why I think too, like it just was so hurtful what R. Kelly did, because it's like, damn, for you to be the pioneer of our culture, of our music, especially all of us growing up, and to turn around and see that you doing this to your own people, first of all, that shit is like heartbreaking.
Yeah, every time now I think about the Pied Piper, I think of him doing that to little girls, like
That's
him
what
with
I'm
his little
saying. It's
thing.
certain songs.
It's the
That
Pied
Pied
Piper.
Piper, yo, you made us like we didn't even know. Like he made a song. And then it's like if you don't know about the Pied Piper, you don't know. You just singing a song.
Just,
He
oh,
calling himself the Pied Piper. You don't even know this motherfucker. You want to know what's crazy? R. Kelly was like out in the open with it, low key. Like
He was bragging about it. He was bragging about it in our faces, and we were just like,
and everybody just like, that's R. Kelly. That's my G. But he
got to pay for that for the rest of his life. Now, like, you might got that half of your life, but now the rest of it, the most important part of your life, you about to be really looking stupid. You usually go to jail while you're young and you get out, but now you're going to jail while you're old and you're out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna happen. I wonder how much time. Like, so I wonder where's the next state he's like they're gonna have a trial at. And because what was it? He had New York. He had Chicago, right? Where he from? Did he have Atlanta? Did he have Georgia?
Atlanta, I think.
Atlanta,
Yeah,
right?
Atlanta.
Chicago. I think it was New York.
So if they hit him with 45 years, 45 to 100 years, and in this case, I don't even see the purpose of the other cases. Like,
for real. But you know what? Like you said too, it's on that part of what I will agree with is they just want to make an example out of him because first of all, he's a black man. He was successful. He was somebody that was known, so they're gonna make an example out of that. They're gonna make an example out of him. So, R. Kelly, Robert, and it's like all that money. That's what I'm saying. Like people. Like, I don't know. People swear like money is everything. Money does bring and open up doors and opportunities. Don't get me wrong. It could bring you up out of poverty. It could do a bunch of things for you. But that shit, you spent all this money and yeah, you might have got robbed because you chose not to learn and you wanted to be illiterate. Like,
your
if
financial.
it's not illiterate, you chose
if it's
to be
not
illiterate,
used for the
okay?
good.
Yeah. But all that money that you had, like you thought you was doing something and you might have was doing something for a little bit, but look at you now, yo. Where that money gonna be now? On your books?
Damn.
Like, you done.
And they said some people are still out there, going ham for him or whatever. Like they were still rooting him on, like free R. Kelly.
I'm trying to tell you,
some
it
people
kind of
don't
split
flip.
our culture at one point. Everybody was going back and forth about this. I remember when it started coming out. Everybody was on social media going back and forth. Like I said, you had half of the people, they was making jokes about it. They was laughing. They was like,
They
I'm still
paid
gonna play
his
his music.
bond.
And then you had the other half like, yo, there's some real life shit that's going on. Like, wow. So, I
And remember,
think people
the
have.
lady even paid his bond for him to get out.
Yeah. Nate, you don't remember that when he first got locked up?
I do remember that. She was also suing to get that money back that she never got back because R. Kelly was broke. He ain't have no money.
Suing him? Why you suing him?
She thought she was gonna pay the bond. R. Kelly was gonna come meet her, and everything was gonna be happy. They gonna get together and be together.
Thought she was gonna get more on top of that.
Nah.
So she obviously haven't been following the story because she's dumb. Because first of all, he wasn't like you played yourself.
I don't know.
Like, what?
Why?
R. Kelly is for self. Period.
Know what I want to know? I want to know about Aaliyah's. Like they never really got into like Aaliyah's parents. What did Aaliyah's parents think about him marrying R. Kelly? Like the manager or something said a lot of the papers like she forged them and stuff. So like, what was Aaliyah's parents like? Were they in the dark about it, or was they just in denial, or did they just take the payoff?
From what I'm gathering, they didn't want Aaliyah to be married to him, and that's why all the fake documentation and paperwork came about. But I thought they said that Aaliyah was pregnant, and that's kind of why the whole marriage thing. I could have sworn that was one of the reasons that they were saying like R. Kelly was trying to be quick to marry her. But I'm not sure if that's 100% true. But from what I'm hearing and reading and watching, I don't think that the parents specifically knew like that's what was going on. I don't know if down the line they did. Like I say this like I wish Aaliyah was alive to tell her story. Cause when you hear like Dame Dash talk so much, like he was in love with her.
He was older than her too, though.
I know, but he wasn't. Was they messing around? Did they ever mess around?
Yeah, and so was Timberland. Timberland said he loved it too, but like, I don't think they messed around or whatever. But it's like,
it still shows a lot of crazy stuff was going on there because their minds is fucked up too.
Right. Listen, I don't care if he Who? It don't matter if you are Kelly. It don't matter if you the president.
For
Wrong
real.
is wrong. Period. Doing some shit like that, wrong. I
And
don't care who you
I
are.
bet you the whole industry's scared right now because too, R. Kelly
R.
probably
Kelly
know
might got some
who
names under
he
his
worked with
belt.
many people who was down with it. And I bet you all of them shaking in their boots and they should offer R. Kelly something just because and
R. Kelly
expose
about to
some
be
other
like, I'm
people.
snitching on y'all. He go, I'm telling on all y'all.
That's what I said. Remember R. Kelly, one of the ladies that was in the studio was like R. Kelly used to have them young girls always in the studio with him.
You
So
know what
like
I
whoever
like?
was
I don't
recording, that's why I
get. I
said.
don't. Go ahead.
That's
Sorry.
why I said, do we cancel Sparkle? Because Sparkle was in the studio with him,
I was
probably with
just
some
about to
young
bring
girls.
Sparkle up.
Do we cancel? Do we cancel Cassidy? Do we cancel Jay Z? Do we cancel everybody that had a song with
Do
him because
you
they was
think?
probably in the
Well,
studio?
do you think that they knew? Do you think that Jay-Z would sit there and know willingly sit? I mean, we don't know these people behind. We see them on as celebrities. We don't know them. We only could assume. But you think that Jay-Z and them would sit there and watch R. Kelly be with young women and just not say nothing? Like, I don't know. Maybe. I just feel like if you knew and you watched and you saw and you didn't say nothing, you are a part of the problem. That's like you seeing my daughter get snatched up by a fucking man and thrown in a car, and because you under they pay, I don't give a fuck about no payroll. I mean, of course, see, back in the days, I guess, people, they care about that money. They underneath this, they underneath that. I don't give a fuck what I was underneath, motherfucker. I'm not indulging in that. I don't even want to have no damn contract with you. Cause what I kind of don't get either, like, is Sparkle. Like, how you didn't think that that was gonna happen to your niece? Like, you was with, like, you were there. You seen stuff, Sparkle, or you, I don't know
It was
what.
about to happen to her.
Right. So
So
with Sparkle, I'm a little confused because why would you put your niece into that kind of realm? But wasn't the niece father the guitar player or something like that?
I don't even remember. I just know she brought after R. Kelly was trying to talk to her and do stuff with her, she decided to bring somebody else into the picture. Like that's weird to me. Like, so do we cancel her too? Do we say you enabled him? So
Right.
Anybody that had anything to do with it should be going the fuck down too. I don't care. The parents that knew and still send their kids along, y'all are at fault for what happened to y'all kids too. I don't give a fuck who you. I don't care. Like, see that you know why? That's why I'm happy that money does not move me. That's like
For
it
real.
don't make me. I'm gonna be straight regardless. But money does not is not the end all for me. So that shit
It
don't
can't,
move me. So I'm
no
not gonna
bribe,
push
no
my
nothing.
kids to be doing some shit because a celebrity come around. I don't give a fuck. You a regular human being just like us, but you got more money, more publicity. Stuff like that.
Right.
If it ain't feeling right, if I know you in the newspaper for this, and yes, he wasn't proven at those times, but it was a video. We all knew that was R. Kelly. Like, how can you sit there and allow your kids to still go be with this person? So I agree with Nate. Like, you are at fault as the parent. The people that was in his, like I said, the ones that was under his payroll that knew, they're all wrong, Nate. Like, they're all wrong. They knew. You're wrong.
anybody that signed that MDA, all of them are wrong because evidently they had you sign it for a reason.
Right.
Right. You
So
are
from the
definitely.
driver to the makeup person to the door opener at the hotel to the hotels he was going to some of the parents
And
to
imagine how much
so,
money he was dishing out, yo, trying to like make
Keep
sure
people.
everybody was underneath what the fuck he wanted them to be under.
Right.
video producers, uh, some of the artists he worked with, like all of them are under that umbrella. That's what I'm saying. We cancel R. Kelly. We got to cancel a whole lot of people because he had a network of people who knew.
And I believe he wasn't doing that for nothing because people was with it and the girls and all that stuff that he was doing, people was with it. They wanted what he wanted. And it got
They
bigger
sure
and bigger.
did.
Stuff grow from small to bigger and bigger and other people had to help this situation grow.
Had to keep it covered, so they had to just do what they had to do.
So they know they called R. Kelly up like, yo, I'm saying, what's up with that little such and such? You feel me? Pictures, all that. Like, It's definitely in that industry where it was definitely on and popping.
So they said that some of R. Kelly friends would just drive and pick up the girls that R. Kelly wanted. Like,
they definitely need to go down.
I'm just saying.
How you scouting for this
Every
man?
single last one.
That money, they was like, yo, I'm getting paid to go pick up this thing. You feel me? Like you said, money. But guess what? It getting everybody in some trouble because if you don't use money wisely or you using it for the wrong reason, you definitely gonna lose it all. It's all gonna hit you in the end.
Yep, exactly. Now, like I said, he gonna be having money put on the books, video chats.
Kelly gonna be working in the kitchen because he ain't got no money. Who's sending him money?
But guess what? There's people who still gonna look out for him. Believe it or not, people still gonna look out for him.
You know what? She right. He's still gonna have fans, and fans are gonna still send him money.
Yeah.
Fans, he's gonna find some girl or some woman that wants to talk to him while he's in jail.
Right.
Who wants to be like, don't worry, when you get out, I'll take care of you. Come see me. So.
Right. Weirdo.
The day I find a video of my daughter getting peed on, R. Kelly would have been dead.
Shot. You would have got shot.
R. Kelly would not be alive. What the fuck was on these parents' mind that they let their kids go through that type of shit? Like, money.
Look, girl, my name is R. Kelly. I know I just pissed on your daughter, but look, here's $100,000 and a Ferrari. Can you bring her back over next week? Cows. Like, I'm saying.
Look,
that's how it probably went down.
Nah. Some of them parents
they should have tried to sell. They should have tried to sold themselves instead of their kids if they wanted some money. So
you better get
R. Kelly. R. Kelly didn't want them. R. Kelly was like, you too old.
He wanted the little girl.
How old is she?
I would put 2 ponytails.
But y'all, like, you know, what type of thinking that I think R. Kelly was going through, like when he's changed, because you know we also heard about him messing with the men. I don't know if y'all read the. A girl put out like a little book or something she wasn't on the Survivor R. Kelly show, but she had put out like a little book about what was
Kelly liking everything.
I read it and I was like, wow. But then even for R. Kelly to change that girl image into a boy, that make you think like that home was really on some other shit because why did you need to change her image of a tomboy and dressing up baggy clothes, cut here, making her look like why? What was your purpose of doing that? You got sexual fantasy off of that? Like something ain't right. That's why I believe that, you know, with him also dealing with men, like I believe that he was. I think he was.
Facts.
To the jungle.
Did y'all see any of the interviews like with his brother, the younger one? No, with both of them, with the older and the younger one. I had watched some interviews on YouTube about it. And I had listened to the younger brother, because the older one was in jail, I believe. But the younger brother, he said a lot. He talked about a lot of things that they went through, but he didn't go the route that R. Kelly went. Like, that shit traumatized him. You know, he didn't want to be that type of person.
Right. Oh, you gonna make me want to watch it.
It's crazy what you could go through, the things that you can go through, and like what it really could turn you into. That's the scary part.
And that's only if you keep feeding on it. Like your mind be open to poison or whatever. Now you got a choice to make. That's where people fail to realize you got a choice. Either you're gonna go this way or you're gonna go that way.
That's what I'm saying. And he chose not to nothing. Like how he was so comfortable in that lifestyle. Like he loved it. Like you got these girls in different hotel rooms. You got them in different houses, one over here. And then remember the rooms that they were showing like that. I'm like, yo, what was, first of all, what pills you was taking to be dealing with all these girls like this? Like,
right.
All the effort he had to put in to maintain it.
I think it felt like it's what he like. Well, I forgot the word, but
I think a lot of it had to do with control too.
He was just feeding off it. It gave him life.
What's up, Grind Hard? What you say, Tiffany? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too, because I think my phone was a little slower than when you talk. I said like basically it gives him life. Like it gives him a rush. So while he doing that and he see that he's getting by, he just diving into that world. It's like now that is who he become. We not our hair, our skin, but the soul that's within. So we know whoever was in that body occupying it, whoever in there, he just went along and just did the devil's work straight like that. He just was for it. He fooled everybody by talking about God, everything like that. That money probably was just coming in. We don't know how it was coming in, how he was doing it, but he was doing it. And the nicest people, we already know all we got to do is be good, be nice, and we could get away with anything. So him and Bill Cosby, you feel me? They put up a front. They know what is right, but they don't want to do what is right.
Yep. So Bill Cosby. Do y'all feel like Bill Cosby? What y'all feel about the Bill Cosby situation?
Well, no, I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm conflicted with the Bill Cosby situation.
I am too.
But just like how R. Kelly is out there, it's just like crazy. Once he peed on a girl, we should have known. Now
that's what I'm saying. Like, how could people be like? And you know, I know I was younger when
me
that
too.
video came out. I forgot what, but I know everybody was talking about it. I've never actually seen the video. I don't know if any of y'all ever popped the tape and was able to watch it. But look at Nate, like, yeah.
I seen it. I seen the tape, and I was like,
okay, but at the same token, even when the whole situation with him and Aaliyah, that should have
that should have been a red flag right there. Like that should have been
a red flag. Period.
I agree.
Yeah. So right now, it's like we want to feel even sorry for Bill Cosby, but these accusations and things like that.
I feel like with the Bill Cosby thing, like you know how I feel like they really was doing those type of drugs and stuff back then. Like I don't know. I feel like that's something that was a part of the
lifestyle.
The scene, right? That lifestyle. I don't know if all them women was. I think Bill Cosby a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if he really drugged up them women how they were saying that he was.
No, I think they were willing and they was doing whatever. And
what you think, Nate? I want to know.
Hey, in the words of Eddie Griffin said a lot of people was going to a club. What is it? 57, Area 57 or whatever, and they was doing quaaludes and sniffing cane and having sex. We all know that, like, back in the days, like, that's what they used to do. They used to get high and have sex. Like, I don't see, like, so, okay, like, put it like this. Imagine this, right? I take it back to, like, even with Mike Tyson. Remember Mike Tyson was about to have that fight, and he was at his hotel room, and a woman came over at 2 a.m. to the hotel room claiming she wanted to pray with Mike Tyson.
Pray with him?
At 2 a.m.
Yeah, she want to pray for that dick.
So, I mean, at that point, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you because there's no praying going on at 2 a.m. There's nothing open but legs and fast food spots. So, I mean, I'm just saying. Now we all been in a situation where we wanted to either go to somebody's house or have somebody come over, and we made up an excuse like, "Yeah, I'm about to come over and fix that fire stick, girl. I'll be there in like 10 minutes at midnight, knowing damn well we ain't fixing no fire stick."
Like, so, I want to come talk to you. It's like 1 o'clock.
Yeah, it's like so.
FaceTime me.
So, I mean, now when she got there,
Bill, I just at first like just following all of that. I started having doubts, but then I'm not following the whole situation. I'm like, nah. I feel like some of these women, they knew what they was doing. I don't think he just was drugging them up. Like, I don't know. I really don't.
I could see if he was like, okay, now you in his room and you went over there after the club and y'all was drinking and drugging and you say you got raped. Okay. That's not saying I condone that or whatever. But if you going over there after the club, you got to know this man intent ain't to have you come over there and talk to him all night. Like, he wasn't trying to put you in no shows or nothing. Like, what's going on?
I don't care
Like,
though. I don't care though. Don't put nothing in my cup without me knowing.
I'm just saying though, if you mix cocaine, like even nowadays, like I know girls that be like, yo, I got Henny and weed, come over. Come over when? After the club. So you want me to come over there to drink Henny and weed with you at 5 a.m.
They
to
know
do what?
They know what's popping. What's the
What are we
moves?
doing? Are we gonna sit on the floor, hold hands, and watch cartoons, infomercials all night? Like nowadays, that's why I said nowadays you probably got to get a contract. Like if I come over, what we doing? Right? Send me an email on my phone.
They
Send
gonna
me
be
a
like,
text
I want you
message.
to sign this first.
For real.
I'm saying.
Yo, for real though.
That
I'm
might
just
be a good
saying.
idea,
At the end of
Nate.
the
You
at
be
the end
on
of
to
the
something
day,
with them contracts.
Like end of the day, you need to know, like, cause
Nigga, you break
you
my heart, I get to shoot you in the foot. Sign the contract. Right?
for real.
niggas would be like, ooh, I
Sign the
like this
whole
foot.
contract.
So that shit really happened. They be like, I thought she was playing. Nah, nigga.
Like I said,
Not
I'm
at
just
all.
saying, like, I could understand if Bill Cosby was like, if a girl was like, yeah, Bill Cosby drugged me in the back of the car and he molested me and then dropped me off in the woods and I got proof, then I'd be like, yeah,
Right.
nigga, you did that. Like,
Right.
but I can't take you serious if you like, yeah, I went to his room at 2 a.m. drinking and snorting cocaine.
Yeah, so
I
some of that
can't
stuff was
take
real
that
off. I was
serious.
like, y'all
And
lying.
women be like, just because I was drinking and snorting cocaine at his room at 4 o'clock in the
Don't mean
morning,
that I wanted
don't
him
mean I
to.
wanted him.
Right.
So what was you there for?
So
You
that was
just
a
wanted
little
to be his
tricky with the whole
presence?
Bill. Yeah, Bill Cosby. The Bill Cosby situation had a lot of question marks because it wasn't clear cutthroat how them women was acting like it was. And but you know one thing I don't agree with when people say, "Oh, why take so much time to say something about what happened to you? Why 20 years from now?" This, that, third. You cannot put a timestamp on when somebody wants to talk about something like
That happened,
sexual abuse,
yeah.
rape,
Yeah,
molestation. You cannot put a timestamp on when
At
somebody
all.
feels comfortable with coming out and saying something to anybody, whether it be somebody they confide in, their family, friends, whatever, the public. You cannot. I hate when people say that because especially if if you was never a victim of that, you have no right to be like, but why you saying something 10 years later? Who the fuck said I had to tell you what happened to me as soon as it happened? Although you
Right.
should want to get that person dealt with, but it don't work like that, yo. So that's one thing that people got to stop saying. Like when people come out with these, allegations or things like that, you can't be so quick to say, "Oh, they're lying because of the time frame of when it happened versus when they decided to talk about it," because that's not fair. Sometimes
Right.
it does take people a long time to come out and talk about what they've been through. Some people take that shit to the grave with them.
true.
So that's the one thing that when we talk about all of this, like it cringes me when I say, I'm like, why people, how you gonna tell somebody when they, should talk about what happened to them? You don't know what that did to that person,
At all.
mentally, internally, physically, all of that. So, I don't like that. Y'all people stop that out there when y'all be doing that in the comments and stuff. Talking about people taking
So
time to talk about what they've been through.
as a male, what scares me is, like I said, like what scares me is like you meet a female and y'all both don't have the same intent and y'all go back to her room, her house or your room or their room and y'all have sex and then she might roll over and just be like, you raped me. And you just be like, I thought this was mutual. Like you was on top. What do you mean up? And then what happens? Like the male gets in trouble. That's the
So that
scary
right
part about it.
there, people that do stuff like that, they're definitely like dead wrong. They're definitely grimy. Something wrong with them. Because why you doing that? If y'all both indulge in something, then it is what it is. Why would you lie about that? Like I don't get that. Stuff like that don't make no sense. Why make up something like that? Or like, of course, back in the days, if a white girl messed with a
Oh,
black guy,
it was over.
how many cases we know of, you raped my child and it was never nothing like that, it was consensual. So that goes back to they want to make examples out of the black men, and that's where I agree with you guys at about, the whole R. Kelly thing. Um, I don't know. I don't want my kids to go through no shit like that. I know that much though.
I don't know
Yeah.
ever.
Did
Well,
you see? Did you
not
see
too
on
really.
Did you see on Facebook that Tanya Stevenson's was talking about her trauma in Jamaica?
Who's that?
Mm-mm.
Tanya Stevenson is a famous Jamaican artist, and she was giving her stories about like how she got into the industry in Jamaica, and she had a lot of like rape trauma in her life, and she was like, for the first time, she was just talking about it. Like she said, it happened like when she was younger. She really like flowed on and was like giving details. She wouldn't say who it was, but she was like, she said one of the people that was like a real popular person in Jamaica, a real big artist, but she didn't want to give his name. And she was like saying the same thing. She was talking about how like he just groomed her, got at the studios, made music. They made music together, and then one night he just brought her to the house and decided to just rape her and beat on her. And then like she was upset because there was people outside the door that where she got raped at, and she was calling out, and none of them ever
And
came
they
in.
just
Yeah, and then she was talking about how when he let her leave, she didn't want to leave because it was daytime, and she was embarrassed, so she wanted to leave at night so nobody could see her. And she was like really like filling in her traumas of like being raped and how like the effects it had on her and her trusting men and trusting the people that was around certain people because she knew that they wouldn't tell. And even how like she was saying she couldn't even go to the police because the police officer like was friends with him. So she knew he would never get prosecuted.
yo, the things power could freaking do,
yeah,
yo,
it's like
hide and corrupt.
she talked for like an hour and like I was in the car like almost in tears, like damn, because Tanya
I know you
Stevenson,
about to make me cry right now.
the song, what's the name of the song she sing? She seen
Is that
the song that goes I can't think of the name of the song. I'm about to look it up, but
she's a like Jamaican, she's a singer or she's a rapper? Because I know
she's a
that's a.
she's a Jamaican artist. I don't know how what to call them rappers,
Is she like
but
a new one?
nah, she's an old school Jamaican artist.
Oh, then I don't know. I'm
Okay,
talking
She
about
seen
thinking
that
about
like
this
she seen
new.
that song. I know the beat goes. I'm gonna look it up because I can't sing it. But you know that song, you already had a wife.
oh yeah.
She sing that, and
Oh,
she was just going through her traumas and like she was saying like she said like probably 95 90 it was either 95 or more percent of women in Jamaica have been raped, and she's like they have no one to turn to because they be getting raped by like the sheriffs and like the countrymen and the police and the artists, and I'm like
but
Wow.
you know that period. The black culture has been through that. Like it's just something that I wouldn't. It's something that was just so hidden and people accepted because that's what the fuck they did. They accepted it when they knew like things were going on. People just turned a side eye and like I can't even. I don't care if it's family. Like you did some crazy shit like that to me. It's always f you. Like I'm never gonna care. Like if you drop dead right now. Like if you molested me or did something to me or something like that, somebody in my family, and you gone, and we kind of had a situation like that recently. I'm not gonna get too into it, but I ain't give a fuck that he was found dead. I'm so serious. I said I don't know if that made me cold hearted. I don't know if
you
that
was
made
like
me whatever,
so
but
Mm.
I ain't care. And then like, my grandma was crying. I want to look at her like, don't cry on some real because I don't know. I don't care who you are. Stuff like that, that shit is not right.
At
And
all.
it happens so much. I don't know. I don't know if we have a lot of the sex trafficking and stuff like that that been going on, but I don't know if too much in our culture now. I feel like more people are speaking up. I feel like women. I don't know about the men because it's definitely hard for men to speak about that type of trauma. It's hard for some men to talk about being molested or raped, because it happens to men as well, like R. Kelly and his brother. But it's hard for them to open up. But I think that nowadays, I feel like more women open up a little bit more about these type of things, especially when it comes to like a family member or something doing it. It's time to speak up. Just like y'all said, if we holding R. Kelly accountable, and
We
we
gotta
gotta
hold
hold
everybody,
everybody accountable, we
all
gonna hold the
right.
people. We have to, family or not, whoever. You doing some shit like that, and that's wrong on all levels. Time to get them.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I just, like I said, as a mom girl, I just be like, I cannot imagine. I
Protecting them
can't.
at all costs.
All the way, 100%.
Even sons. I don't have sons, but even the
And you
boys.
know the sad part about it? The sad part about it is that people out here praising, people don't even know they out here praising those molesters. They acting like, oh, like, it's just crazy. You praising those type of people that even though it happened when they was young, you should be scared. Some people, they dating these people that it happened when they was young that you don't even know if they still got it in them to this day. Now they really skilled at knowing how to keep a kid quiet.
Right.
We ain't doing that.
You definitely gotta watch who is around your kids for
I know
real.
that it was this girl I called my niece. She was like talking to an older boy, like, and she's one of them kids that's more shapely for her age. But she was running her mouth to all the other girls, so they kind of, what I respect about the kids is they didn't hide that secret for her. When she told them what was going on and all of that, guess what them kids came and did? They came to all of us as adults and they told us, as the adults, and they told us what was going on. They let us know. They ain't be like, oh, my friend did, let me keep it a secret. No, because you know why? Nah, that's not what we doing. Ain't no secrets when it comes to shit like that. And the girls wasn't with it. They looking at her like, yo,
what?
you 12. What you mean you talking to a 19-year-old? I'm like, y'all gotta get all his information and get him. Like, that's crazy. What do he look like? You feel me? Like, he trying to meet with her. He trying to come from New York to see her. Like, this is really happening in the backyard, in our backyard. And I'm so happy that the kid says something, because who knows if they ain't come to us and say nothing. Who knows if she would have still been talking to him, or she would have had him meet her down here, and now she gone. You feel me? That shit really be happening right underneath our noses, right in front of our face. And it be happening with these loved ones. I don't know.
And that's why we
the
definitely got to make sure we
touchy. What'd you say, Tiffany?
I was about to say that's why we definitely gotta teach our children, because it helps other children who might not even be taught what is right and what is wrong. Because my kids, I tell them don't hold nothing from me. I don't care if somebody said, "Oh, I'll kill your mother." You already know what time it is. After you let me know, you ain't gotta worry about Jack. You feel me? Like, don't let nobody ever pressure you or whatever. And she be the first. Don't ever be afraid to tell. You could tell me on the low. Right. Because I'm not, as a mother, I'm not just going to embarrass the situation or put it out there. But whatever anybody kid is doing wrong, make sure that I know so that I can help you. Because just like, for example, a boy liked her in her class. Somebody told her, "Oh, he likes you, this, that, and the third." She said, I said, "Corona." She said, "I said Corona," and left. I said, basically just tell him that's nice that you like me and all, but we too young.
Right.
Yeah, because they be starting real young. Focus on some other shit. Focus on your education.
For real.
But all right, so you guys, we got to end it. This was a good conversation. I'm happy we talked about this. This was a good conversation.
It was.
So you know how it goes. We all gonna leave something about the topic. Maybe how we feel about R. Kelly, or just in general about this whole, situation with dealing with younger people when you're older. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'm gonna just say this: everybody needs to go down because they all knew. And when it comes down to the topic of messing with older people, period, whether it's a man or a woman, and love on your kids, talk to your kids. I ain't saying y'all gotta be their friend because it's a boundary, but talk with them because it's real out here. I know with the youth, I work with the youth. I've been working with the youth since 2009, and I'm not gonna lie, what I see and what I hear, it ain't right. It ain't right. And a lot of the parents even come down on this shit, and this shit is just crazy. I got like I said, a 15-year-old, and the stuff that she tell me, I be like, oh my god, I need like a house full of guns. That's how I feel because they're babies. They don't know no better.
And the world is so different.
Right.
It's so fast. So much faster. I mean, you think about when you grew up and the things you might have did when you was young, might have been fresh or whatever and stuff like that. But you don't want that for your children, so you like, man, I don't care what I do. We ain't about to have you ain't about to do that. We ain't about to have you indulging in that.
And they brains hit a little different now. You feel me? It hits a little bit different now. Like
they got social media.
Yeah.
That's their drug.
Yo, and it's crazy because it's like, like I make sure my kids still have. Well, it ain't my turn yet. Is you done? Issa?
Go ahead.
No, because now I say to the people or whatever, make sure your kids still have an imagination. Like, because I make sure that my kids put their things down. I don't care. You're gonna play with you're gonna give your little sister some time. You're gonna give yourself some time, go ride your bike. Even if you want to go, even if they're gonna play their Nintendo Switches and all that, still send them outside. Force them to play tag and stuff like that. So, because my kids, when they get around other people's kids, they know what to do. But other people's kids walk around, I'm bored. Nah, like you got to be able to have something for yourself to do. And that's what I'm teaching my kids. Make sure that you keep them with imagination, even if you're giving them a box. They got to think of something. Right. So what I got to say is make sure you're watching your kids at all times. Trust no one. And it's not that much breaking in the world that you need off your kids because they're yours.
No, that's right.
Definitely, you can't. Just know that everything that happened to you in your life is chasing after your kids. So you want to keep an eye out on everything that you went through, that it does not happen. Not to say you're paranoid, but don't really care what people think. Even if your family's like, oh, loosen up. But if you feel the vibes that you feel, go with your gut. Don't go with other people's gut. Always go with your own gut because your gut ain't going to lie to you. No matter how crazy people think you are. As long as you make it. That's all. We trying to make sure our kids be able to at least get 18 before having a kid. After that, you can do whatever you want. But I'm going to make sure you get through high school and whatever. Then you can do whatever you want.
No, you heard me.
No, you can't.
No, you know what I knew y'all was going to say that. You really can't because I'm over here like, I'm going to be still holding her hand going across the street.
Because we thought we was grown, we was 18, 19, 20, 21. We was legally, but let's be real.
Yeah. But we just want them not to be walking around with a baby in high school. At least we got to make sure they get into where they need to go. We don't want them to walk in high school with a baby. That's your main thing, so they won't have to go backwards to go get their high school diploma and all that stuff. But when you say you want it to be grown, you're going to be grown when you be grown.
Oh yeah, because my son feeling it. He had a baby at 16.
I know he was 15.
They got pregnant. They were 14 and 15. By the time my granddaughter was here, my son was 16. She was 15. And he's a single dad right now.
Wow. The story of his life.
But these are the things that I try to instill in them, but kids are hard headed. That's like telling a baby not to touch the stove, but they want to know why they can't touch the stove and they still do.
Yep. The
So,
choices that we make.
Right.
mm-hmm.
We have to deal with the consequences just like Robert has to.
Right.
And God has a plan, like for situations like how your son or whoever, like always know that God has a plan. It's not over. Cause so I know that even for you to be a grandmother at that age is still like, whoa, that was some big news for you because it's too soon.
But wait, Tiffany, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I found out 11 days before she was born that I was even going to be a grandmother.
Oh, wow. Now that's a shocker.
So I didn't have any time
to digest. And,
I guess that was the timing, huh? They didn't want to see the first part of you, huh?
I mean, but at the end of the day,
right.
I supported him. He graduated high school. He's doing his thing. So, I'm thankful that I am the parent that I am.
Right.
Because they're coming in a whole different way.
Right, everything happens in life for a reason. We all know that. Everything. And although some things may look gray and some things may look like why would this happen? Why would my son have to go through this? Or why would I have to go through this? Or whatever it is. It is definitely a story and a reason why. And it's gonna this happened in his path and his situation in his life for a reason. So like Tiffany said, it's not over for him.
Right.
I don't know where Nate went, but I do want to just say, Kelly, he deserves everything that's coming to him. I feel like anybody else that had anything to do with R. Kelly's situation need to be going down. I feel like the parents that knew what was going on or even thought that R. Kelly might have been that type of dude and they still allowed their kids around it, shame on you. Like y'all said, we got to protect our kids at all costs, do what we need to do to try to, give them better, show them better. Tell them that messing with older people at such a young age is not always a good thing. That it can turn into things that maybe it shouldn't. Wait until you old enough. Even if you're somebody that might feel like you like an older person, an older man, an older woman, wait till you 18 and you get out of high school to deal with that. Don't think that it's cute because of an older man picking you up, buying you things and stuff like that, because that's just all a part of pulling you in. You feel me? I'm still up and down about the R. Kelly music. Like I said, I feel like I might be able now to listen to like the fun songs, the dancing songs, but I know for now I cannot indulge in
anything sexual.
The sexual songs, yes. Because he has a song on the Chocolate Factory. I love that album called Forever. And
I was gonna get married to that song.
To get married to that song. Like that song is just so like. And
that was my wedding song. I ain't gonna even lie. That was my wedding song.
Y'all gonna be like, here, the Chocolate Factory. He talking about shitting on little girls.
Yo, that Forever song is a marriage song. Like, oh my God. So that's why I said, like, I was so mad at him. Like, why you had to do this stuff? We're like, why? But yeah, I don't think I could, as much as I love the sexual songs, I'm not going to listen to them. I can't. I'm going to just start thinking about all of this shit.
It's all going to seep into like, it's going to get real because it's like, that's evil. After, it's like little mixed feelings, whatever, but then after you really think hard upon it, like, F everybody. Like, that's what's wrong with the world now. We can't even feel sorry for people.
I can't feel sorry for R. Kelly, especially because he had every resource and means to do the right thing and he didn't. So I cannot feel
I'm
bad.
still listening to Fiesta. I'm still gonna listen to Fiesta. It's one of my favorite songs.
I mean, that was a party song. Yeah, that was an okay song. That's what I'm saying. It's like.
And what's the other one? Roll your body like a snake, ma, like that.
Oh, that was I remember
like that.
Roll your body like a snake, ma. No, I can't. See,
so,
Nate, stop.
Like I said,
stop.
Look, I'm not even gonna lie. The workout song. I'd be like, roll your body like a snake. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I can separate. What he did is wrong completely. but his art is beautiful. Like some of the best art come out of some of the most messed up people. So if we gonna do that to him, we gonna be doing that to a lot of other people. So you might as well just cancel everything.
Well,
That's the way
shit,
I
bring
see
them
it.
on. Because these motherfuckers need to
So,
be got. Like, I don't care what artists they are. Like, bring their
so
asses on. Like, I feel you. And that was the thing. People just was like, I'm going to separate the two. So, I get it. Like I said, I just can't get down with the sexual songs no more. But maybe I was like I said, I stood in my living room and did that whole step in the name of love. I was like, and I said to myself, I said, damn, I miss his music. Because I'm telling you, when did that Surviving R. Kelly came out? How many years ago was that? Like a couple of years ago? The Surviving R. Kelly was.
yeah, I want to say 3 to 5 years ago, somewhere in that window.
I
But you gotta
did
think
not
about it.
listen to no R. Kelly music all this
But
time. So when that
but you
shit
gotta think
came on
about
and
it.
I started doing the dance, I was like, damn.
You got to think about it though. This is old though, because Dave Chappelle was talking about this many years ago. Like when the tape came out, Dave Chappelle was talking about R. Kelly peeing on people, and everybody was just laughing about it.
Yep,
Oh
they
yeah,
was
he did it.
laughing. I
Like I
remember
said,
that.
if you look up Bill Bellamy way back before Dave Chappelle said something about it, he did a whole skit on him. Like he can't mess with R. Kelly no more because he think he be driving by schools playing beep beep. Can I get it too? Picking
Oh, I
up
think
chicks at
I
the high
seen
school.
that. I think I seen
So
that. I think I
like
know what you're talking about.
all them years, that's like 10 years ago right there, they was talking about R. Kelly doing this stuff. And like the black
And
community knew about
nobody,
it, but we
right.
was still like, it's cows.
But shit, what?
So
But shit, the way that our people fucking covered and hovered and protected him, R. Kelly, we need to be like that on some real life shit on the front line, covering
yeah,
and
for
protecting
real.
him, because they was
The people
protecting
doing
him.
good. If we would protect Martin Luther King and Malcolm X like that, they'd probably still be around.
Right, these motherfuckers protecting a fucking crazy motherfucker. Oh
Nah, the government would
God.
have killed them anyways.
So I don't know, y'all. This was a great conversation. As always, you guys. Let me see. Yeah, we're gonna be back next Thursday, of course. Thank you to my Venus versus Mars family that's coming on, that came on today. We got some things in the works, y'all. What is this? The 41st? 41st episode. So we winding down to that 50th. Right?
50.
I
I
can't
can't
wait.
believe it. I'm so excited, but we gonna do something for y'all for that 50th. We got some things coming up, so we talk behind the scenes, Venus versus Mars family. Y'all already know that. Um, and I just wanted to encourage like anybody that's going through situations like this, or have been through anything like this before I go, because this is real life shit. I encourage you to speak up. I encourage you to, let somebody know when something like this is going on with you, when somebody's doing inappropriate things, or, making you feel uncomfortable, male or female. Like I would love for, for you guys to speak up sooner than later, although I'm saying I'm not putting no time stamp on it, but I'm definitely feel like speak up. I don't care if it's family, if it's friends, if it's somebody you trusted, if it's your boss, whoever. Speak up, because like Nate said, if and everybody else up here, if you're getting at R. Kelly, then feel me, we need to get at everybody, including those in the community, around us, the government. Like, let me not say that for no cut my shit off. No, for real though,
Fuck around and get your account revoked.
for real, they gonna be like, your page is deactivated. We're like, damn. They're not even gonna put me in Facebook jail. They gonna come knocking on my door. Nah, but like I said, I think R. Kelly, he just got to deal with the things that he has done and all the drama. I mean, not drama, all the trauma, the hurt, and the pain that he caused those young girls. Especially at such a young age. So he just got to deal with that. Period. Parents, don't let y'all kids date people older than not when they young. Nah, we can't let that. We gotta nip that in the bud, y'all. That shit ain't cute. That shit ain't it ain't pretty, and it's not fair. Other than that, though, I don't know if I have anything else to say. But be back next Thursday with another Venus versus Mars, and of course next Tuesday, Show Support Tuesdays, I'll be on. My baby birthday was the other day. My night, she turned 5, so I didn't do show support Tuesdays, but we will be back next week, you guys. So tune into that. And again, just check out what we're doing for the 50th, you guys. We got some things going on. Anybody else want to say anything before we end the night?
Nope.
Nope. All right, so I want y'all to have a good night too, my Venus versus Mars family. Again, thank you guys for coming on, and thank you
Good
for all
night.
the fans and viewers that's tuned in.
Have a good night,
Everybody
guys.
enjoy your night. Good
You too.
night.
Good night.
He wish, he wish, he wish.